In night vision video from a Navy destroyer, a mysterious flying triangle above the deck of the ship. The Pentagon confirming the images obtained by documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell were taken by Navy personnel, expected to be a part of a report on unidentified aerial phenomenon to be presented to Congress this summer. Already online, some skeptics say the images are caused by cameras trying to focus, but some of the objects go beyond just flying in the sky. One shows a spherical object dipping into the ocean, similar to an incident in Puerto Rico where an object was tracked buzzing an airport, then flying into the water, popping back out before appearing to split into two and disappearing. Over the last several weeks, some of the nation's top former intelligence officials have been raising eyebrows.
Look at that thing. It's rotating.
Former CIA Director R. James Woolsey said he knew of a case where a plane was paused in midair.
A friend of mine was able to have his aircraft stop at 40,000 feet or so and not continue operating as a normal aircraft. What was going on?
In December, ex-CIA Director John Brennan said it was arrogant to believe there are no other forms of life other than the ones on Earth. And former intelligence chief John Ratcliffe says officials have been tracking technology beyond our capabilities.
We're talking about objects picked up by satellite imagery that are difficult to explain.
Like another incident off the coast of California in 2004 when a fighter squadron encountered an object that seemed to defy gravity.
What do you think it is?
I honestly don't know. I don't think that we have developed that technology. I don't think we developed it on this planet.
Video from that encounter and two other incidents were officially released by the Pentagon last year. Now new signs that the Pentagon could declassify more sightings of what they can't explain.
And guys, now here's the thing about those last three F-18 videos. I recently asked the former director of the Advanced Aerial Threat Identification Program at the Pentagon, point blank, are those the only videos that the government has? He said no, those were probably the least compelling videos. And in some videos, you see an object about 50 feet away from the cockpit.
Ooh.
Guys.
Okay, that's crazy. I don't want to say I don't believe because I don't want them to come prove me wrong.
Exactly.
So, right. I'm with you. And by the way,
What up? It is the Whooshie Gang podcast, and I'm not in my normal fucking location today. I am at the communal space downtown New Bedford, and actually the owner of said place is walking in the door right now. Oh my God, is this man wearing a suit? Y'all ain't even ready for this. If you're going to be tuning into this live tonight, because, episodes go up on Spotify on Wednesdays, if you're not ready for this, you're not ready for this. This man is looking fresh to death tonight.
Pardon my tardiness.
Absolutely okay, brother. We actually just went live 4 minutes ago.
Oh, perfect. Just give me a couple of seconds.
Yeah. Do what you got to do. Yeah. So, we got a dope episode tonight. I have my beautiful wife with me tonight as well. We're just going to sit and talk about some fucking aliens. We're going to talk about some weird shit.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but aliens.
It's probably aliens.
Yes.
Not saying it's aliens, but it's probably aliens.
Listen, if y'all don't know by now, Lib's my bro. We do this all the time. I got to make one quick run just to drop this young man off. We'll come back. I got some crazy stuff to talk about to blow y'all mind anyway, because it's definitely aliens.
I got some shit too, so
I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Love you.
Oh, we're getting the building. That's why I'm late.
Wait, the one that we're in?
No, we're buying the building up the street. I'll show you when we're done with the broadcast.
Oh, shit. My man about to... Oh, man.
Okay.
All right, so...
Aliens.
Aliens. We're going to wait and hold off on the conversation just to give my man some time to actually show up.
That's fair.
So what we're going to do is share out the stream to some people while we listen to some dope local hip-hop. And first up on my list is, you know what? I don't fucking know. I didn't even think that far yet.
No.
I really did not think that far. So let's see. You know what? Let's. You know what? This is gonna be some fucking reaction shit for right now. We're just gonna react to some dumb shit. Fucking.
Oh man.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm kind of.
Why?
How you doing?
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. We're postponing the show for a little bit anyway. Well, we're still live, but we're just going to wait to start it till Lionel actually gets here. So let's watch a YouTuber react.
We're going to watch somebody else react to something else?
Yes, we're going to be that type of person right now.
Reactionception.
Reactionception. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Fire. Okay. I feel like the dude with the hat is gonna get his fucking shit cracked.
No.
So bad.
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. That dude. Let me take my hair down. Get a little bit more comfortable. It's funny too because typically I would have so many people on the stream fucking through Facebook, but because Facebook wanted to be a fucking cock gobbler,
yeah,
I have to fucking do the stream through YouTube, which I don't mind, honestly. I mean, truth be told, like, if I'm gonna go through anything to do the podcast, it just kind of realistically makes sense to do it through like YouTube or like sometimes Twitch, but like Twitch is kind of weird with the fucking DMCA shit, like trying to fucking censor what I listen to or like what I play and whatnot. YouTube's truthfully not too bad. Like sometimes there's a copyright claim, but other than that, like if I don't like, man's just got fucking schmacked. Oh my lord, did you just see that?
Kinda.
Holy sheep shit, Criminy Christ Batman, that man just got fucking doofed. Phooey. Oh, he stepped into that? God damn it. If he hadn't stepped into that, that would have been such a crazy fucking slap. Damn. That was so good. Yo. Wait, did he just fucking hit him with the same thing too?
Oh, probably.
Tell me he just hit him with the same penalty.
Most.
Oh my god. Damn. See, like, you and me, we've watched a lot of, like, these slap fights and shit.
Yeah.
Why does this look like two uncles who are just really drunk?
Because they probably are.
Did you just...
I did.
What? You gave him a penalty for that? I didn't even think it connected. It looked like it slid off his face. What the fuck, bro? I cannot.
I can't with you. Boy.
And down he fucking goes. Yep, that's a knockout. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, yeah. He is not doing good after that.
Nope.
That's too funny. All right. So let's check out some alien footage. You know, the whole reason we're here.
Yes. Do it.
Oh. God damn it. There we go. I can't give them those ads.
No.
I can't let those ads play.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have the sound muted anyway, but here we go. All right, so that's definitely fucking interesting.
Yeah, next episode or a future episode. Mermaids.
We can possibly even get into that now. Are you looking at this though?
Excuse me, that was rude. You had my attention.
Yeah, now I do.
You had it.
See, I don't know.
What am I looking at? Actually?
Yeah, I was waiting for the fucking, for alien footage, and this is not really showing me anything that's really an alien. Does this? There we go. Let's maybe change it. Oh, there's something in the middle.
Oh, in the middle of the.
Yeah, there was some. Yeah, okay. I just saw that for a quick second.
Oh, okay.
That made a lot more sense, when you fast forward it.
Should we make sure the sound's okay?
What the fuck? All right. Wait, is that the? Are you just going? Wait. Oh no. Wait.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Hold on.
Some.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on with this video? I feel like it's somebody trying to just get focus. So for the one person tuned in at the moment, what do you think about aliens? Because that's what this whole episode's about. This shit's gonna get fucking definitely weird. It's definitely gonna be an interesting conversation. I definitely got mad shit I want to bring up because there's a lot of things that are just very interesting that I don't even know why was this never brought up? You know what I mean? Why was I never informed of this shit? Or at least why was it not brought to public knowledge? Because for instance,
Because we can't handle the truth.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I can handle the truth.
The majority of us cannot handle the truth.
Speak for the majority, because I think I can do pretty damn well.
Keep watching the stars. Something is bound to happen eventually. Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today,
I'm not using Watch Mojo for my evidence for aliens and shit.
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
No, thank you.
So, I definitely have quite a few different things I want to bring up tonight. It's a good thing that I can clip out the majority at the beginning of this. I can spruce it up for Spotify. Which, if anybody's looking to sponsor the podcast, we are on Spotify, so there's that. So I definitely want to talk about different bills that are trying to get approved about alien disclosure. There's that I want to bring up tonight. I definitely want to bring up different instances of aliens through time. I showed you some stuff earlier at the house that you were like, huh, that's a little fucking interesting.
That is interesting.
I definitely, and also there's a lot of inconsistencies with aliens and a lot of things that there's a lot of inconsistencies with religion that I think can be easily explained with extraterrestrials. So that's going to be something to bring up. That's a very That's a subject a lot of people don't be mad at me about, and I don't give a fuck. That is gonna be when I bring up good points. there's going to be people that are going to be mad because they can't explain it them damn selves. Oh man, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. So before we really get hardcore into conversation, how do you feel about aliens, my dear?
I don't know. I feel like I should not answer that question.
Oh yeah?
You know what? I think cats are aliens and yeah, just things and stuff.
I mean, that's fair. Oh, I hear some people outside. I'm sorry, I do not have enough room on the stream for you as well. Oh man. So in the meantime,
I wish you could put like things and stuff in the frame.
what things?
I don't know. Swirly things and like that. You know.
That didn't tell me shit. Just letting you know. That didn't tell me a damn thing.
I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, there was something.
It's okay. Your thoughts are accepted either way.
Were they though?
Fuck.
Maybe.
Making me tired. God damn it.
No.
I'm not even tired
Your
yet.
brain just thinks you're dying. We can talk about that. How much shit your brain does. That doesn't make sense, but it's because it thinks it's dying. Are our
Okay.
brains aliens? How about that O negative blood?
I was gonna say, okay, Wednesday, Adams, relax. Alright, let's see.
So much.
Let's check this shit
I
out.
don't know.
I always like doing this, so. Let's check this out.
1177. If you don't know, you about to find out, bitch. Yeah. Everybody know that I'm wrong from the start. Everybody know that I come with the heart. Everybody see that I don't drag ass while I'm in my bag and you pushing the cart. Been on my grind, I won't stop now. Locked down like pandemics, and you don't have to let me. You can let your man bet it that I'ma make a grand entrance. Running this now, I'm in tip-top shape. Shouldn't have let me out in a pissed off state. About to do numbers like a TikTok placement. You watch me as I lift off weight. Moving too quick, try to catch me, homie. Cause right now it's best you know me. You don't want me on my bad side with bad meats. Evil, it's too complex for phonies. Running it now, you know we running them down. Running it now, you know we running them down. Running it now, you know we running them down. Running it now, ooh bitch we running it now. Bang, boom, feel like a bomb when I step in the room. All the beef that I put in the tomb, I bring new life like I'm back of the womb. Shouldn't assume, hey, you look like an ass. You do not know me, you don't know my past. But you'll see my future when I'm way ahead of you. You left behind so you get a good look at my ass. Pause, I don't have time, I gotta go so I'm destined to climb. I don't need safety, shoot with no safety. Aim at the target, a beam at your spine. Hey, get off my back. You watch my moves, I just cannot keep track. Telling me about shit that I don't recall. No reason to care, I ain't focused on that. Hey, running it now. You know we running them down. Running it now. You know we running them down. Running it now. You know we running them down. Running it now. Ooh, bitch, we running it now. Running this damn shit like a track meet in this bitch. Better catch up. Team unique, baby.
take this off. And all right. So we are here with the Whooshie Gang podcast. Now let's do the proper introductions. Obviously, you know who the fuck my ass is. I have my beautiful wife over there chilling. And then we have Larnell Walker of the communal space, which that's where we are today. We're not typically here. We're not typically out and about in a different spot. I'm usually just sitting at home talking to somebody through the computer. But I'm actually here having a live conversation because fuck COVID. We do things out here. We outside. So I am excited. We're going to sit here and talk about some aliens. Are you guys excited? I already have my little list of topics.
Absolutely.
Bro, I am so pumped.
Yo, it's funny because like when there's so much like shit going on in the world, it's funny because like I find myself always going down that rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? And like always just thinking about things that's larger than our human experience. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes I get so lost in it, but like I'm super excited to talk about these concepts, especially since like there's so much stuff that's been going on in the government that people are like almost ignoring. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that like people are having a hard time grasping it.
Yeah.
And I think it might be like a fear mechanism. Like they don't know how to process it. So what can you really say? But there's a lot of weird stuff going on in the news, man, for sure. And for years I've been studying this stuff, you know, from Rendlesham Forest, you name it, from, you know, literally verified from the government, you know what I mean, situations where they've had, you know, orbs, as you would like to call them, you know what I'm saying, like going over government facilities, messing with nuclear sites, all kind of stuff. Like
I was just, I have.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you take me down the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into
me started. I was just letting y'all know I know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. So, also we are live on my YouTube, so feel free to share the podcast. Feel free to share. We're no longer streaming on Facebook due to
it's whack.
Zuckerberg being a cuck.
Yeah.
So
I call him Fuckerberg.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg.
Also, I know it's your space. I'm gonna ask you. Did you want to smoke? No.
Can't smoke inside. Yeah, that's the only. Okay. Yeah.
Just figured
No. Cool. Yeah.
I know she said when she does one of her songs, I figured that's a perfect time to smoke break.
Absolutely.
My viewers can listen to her sing.
Absolutely. We're doing a dual thing today. So like literally I'm going on the other side of the wall in about an hour to talk to Candida for a little bit. So I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth, you know. But you know,
it's gonna be great.
It's what we do here at the communal space.
It's communal.
That's right.
So first topic I want to bring up, because this kind of blew my mind earlier. Did you know that Area 51 wasn't officially recognized by the U.S. government until 2013?
Absolutely.
That blows my mind because like we knew about it for so long.
We only got that from the FOIA. It was from a Freedom of Information Act. And literally they, up until now, there's also another one that's out there in Groom Lake too, that is a wing of Area 51 that they don't talk about, you know what I mean, a lot. And the only reason that people knew about it from, you know, the local lore of it all was Bob Lazar.
You
know what I'm saying? Like Bob Lazar revealed a lot, like element 115, you know what I'm saying? And how that's actually an element. They found the unstable isotopes. You know, the higher the isotopes that are in an element, the more unstable it can be. But scientists have figured somewhere around 115 is when you get those tricky properties when you're dealing with anti-gravity and stuff. Exactly. So think about like 30 years ago, you know what I mean? Maybe like 25 years ago, they interviewed this guy, Bob Lazar, that said he worked there. Then they tried to discredit this guy's whole background and everything. Then people like George Knapp actually went and did the research. A journalist from D.C. actually went and did the research and found out like this guy did work at Area 51. He was telling the truth about all of these things. And now you fast forward to today and we're all like sitting here like so caught up in like who's up Kanye and Kim's ass that we're not even paying attention to literally the news telling you, the government telling you like, yeah, we don't know what these are.
Facts. And see, actually, funny enough, the Pentagon labeled 143 sightings of aerial phenomenon as unidentifiable in 2020. But if you think about that, that's 143 that they're telling us about.
Correct.
What aren't you telling us about?
You know, it gets deep, man. And it's like, you know, even you know why I like this conversation too? Because like even if you're a young person, it's good to think outside the box. Because again, if we get into this place where society feels like we know everything, what are we going to discover?
Exactly.
You know, think about it. Like when we talk about this, we really feel there's people that really feel like, oh, there could be no other life when we haven't even explored 80% of our oceans. So it's kind of ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like when you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's a lack of hubris in our species. We don't have that modesty to realize like we're peons, we're dust. You know what I'm saying? Like there's suns 1,000 times larger than ours. You know what I'm saying? There's galaxies and solar system, binary system, pulsars, quasars. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's all this shit that's going on out there. And for some reason, with information in our hands, we're kind of trapped into our phones. That's why I like the movie like Don't Look Up and stuff like that, to make people think about astronomical stuff that's larger than them. Because we arguing about this shit. We talk about it all the time, like race and sex and all this other shit. Yeah, okay, cool. We can argue about all of this shit all we want. It's trivial because as soon as a rock drops out the sky,
but
it doesn't give a shit who you are.
Exactly. I was going to say, on a celestial standpoint, that shit means nothing.
It means nothing.
Literally
nothing.
So that's why
we make our own problems as like a species. We do, and that's why I always say too: if aliens are watching us, they don't want to fuck with us. Not at all. I wouldn't want to.
Dude.
We're TV to them.
Yo, just wait until the next.
We are. We're TV to them.
Actually, well, I'll get to that in a second. Funny enough that you say that. There's actually an episode of South Park based on the concept of us being a TV
I remember
show.
that. Yes.
And they went through the whole day and they were like, wait a minute, this feels very familiar. It was the first episode all over again.
Oh, wow.
It was the first episode all over again where Cartman gets an anal probe.
Wow.
And he comes and talks to them and he's like, guys, I had the weirdest dream last night. And Kyle's like, and it was about this? And Cartman was like, yeah. and then they realized, shit, we're in a fucking rerun.
Yep.
Like,
wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a crazy thought to have too.
I think The Truman Show is an underappreciated movie in this decade, and like I feel like we're starting to hit that fourth wall. You know what I'm saying? Like that representation of when like he hit the wall in the boat is literally the representation of when society hits that fourth wall. We're really spoiled. You know what I mean? Like the amount of technology that has boomed in our lifetime alone, you have to understand thousands of years prior to that. You really got to think about like you literally can be like, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Here's some shit that'll tell you what to order. You know what I mean? And like back in the day, like you fucking had to go hunt. Like which one of you assholes is going to hunt?
like realistically speaking, like yo.
Like think about it. You know what I'm saying? So like we're just mad cocky because we got Alexa to talk to. Like this shit's crazy.
Like if you take somebody from 1922 and you put them,
they burn us.
And even that,
like witches, bro.
You show. I was gonna say,
if I popped up in Salem with this shit back then, I'm getting fried, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like they would think we're fucking crazy.
Yes, absolutely. But the greatest innovators in our lifetime, it's one of the truest cliches that's out there is it takes a touch of madness with a lot of people that are ambitious.
Yeah.
So when people critique the Bezos and all of that other world, I'm like, yeah. There are aspects of them that's Lex Luthor-ish for sure.
Yeah.
But think about how many people made it through this pandemic because they could order shit because they couldn't leave the house. And then sometimes we have to start blaming other people for shit and start understanding like we buy the shit.
Yeah.
We like the rich are created by us. So let's stop being like stupid assholes about it and complaining like they don't pay taxes. You don't want to pay them either. Yeah. I don't want to pay them either, bro.
Yeah.
Teach me your ways. No. They should pay their fair share. I'm not arguing for them. I'm not at all. Thank you. They should pay their fair share. But let's be serious though. Who the fuck really? If we weren't forced to, would we?
I wouldn't pay.
It's easy to say because it gets whacked out of us automatically. But think about how many people we might be morally more sound. But think about our friend pools.
Yeah,
if they could get away with if they could opt out, how many people opt out?
I would opt the fuck out.
And not even realizing what it actually means in the totality of having roads and schools and shit. Because people don't even understand what it really goes towards. You know what I mean? But a lot of people opt out just by not being financially literate and understanding how this works and all of this shit. So again, how can I expect people to understand black budgets, aliens? Motherfuckers don't want to do their taxes.
I mean, I do my taxes because I know I fucking have to, but like if I
got TurboTax, motherfuckers don't want to do it. It's ridiculous. So yeah, if I was an alien, I would literally be like, yo, come look at this shit. Look at these assholes. Bro, they're charging each other for shit they dig out of the ground and turn into stuff. This is crazy. These guys have this thing called rent, guys. Like they're charging each other. This is crazy. This guy's over here about to blow his brains out because he can't get a McDouble. Why would I interact with that species?
Yo.
I would leave us alone. Honestly, I believe in this shit so much because I just want to get picked up. Like, take me with you, bro. Take me with you.
Yo, I fucking so wholeheartedly agree. That's the sad part, too.
Please.
Because, like, for instance, you even mentioned it earlier. You know the movie They Live?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite movies, period.
You know
bro.
it's based on a true story?
Yes. That's what's scary about it.
I was going to say, excuse me, sir, how is that based on a true fucking story?
But here's the scariest part. People look at it too simplistically because we've overcomplicated stuff so much that we have a hard time actually taking in simple concepts.
Yeah.
So the obey and all of that is all around us.
Uh-huh.
It's literally the way things are marketed to us. There used to be a time where they were fighting to go against subliminal messaging. But subliminal messaging is in everything now.
Why do you think Nike is Nike?
All of it, even the Greek god, like the whole idea behind that, like it all means something. Nothing is for nothing. You know what I mean? It's all symbolic behind something. So, and again, when we look at this situation with, think about, I think it's, again, there's a sense of naivety that people have about others, and they forget like how people work amongst ourselves. So if we have secrets in our own little town of New Bedford, the city of New Bedford. What the fuck do you think NASA has and the CIA has? Like, and why? And you know, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. The reason that they won't tell us because a bunch of us are idiots. We'll fucking blow each other up. Like, it's ridiculous. Look at what we've done as a species. We've done the only thing that we're actually excellent at is wiping each other out. Because it ain't helping each other. The helping only comes after we've gotten tired of wiping each other out. And again, if you're watching this and observing this, why would I interact with you? I'm not bringing you into space. I believe in that whole treaty to keep our asses out of space. Why haven't we been back to the moon? Why?
Exactly.
Because I believe in what's like, don't bring that shit out here.
Yeah.
Put that shit back where it came from or so home.
Have you seen Moonfall?
No.
Ooh, watch Moonfall. Fire.
Yo. Wait,
fire movie.
Is that the one where like the moon attacks or some shit?
They market it in a certain way, but there's a whole story and how it comes together, and it's fire.
I heard that was like crazy as hell.
It's very crazy, but it's fire. It is fire. You'll like it.
So, it's actually before I even get to that,
fire kicks, by the way.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. Fucking for anybody that can.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta do a yoga move and show you my shit. He's like, good girl, I'm flexible.
Hey, fire.
It's gonna be hurting later.
Yup, facts. That's why I don't skateboard anymore.
Somehow pulled something and you're not feeling that.
Yo, I'm not gonna feel it till we go home.
Right.
So, Fukushima, Japan,
correct,
is an alien hotspot.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that a recent study shows that 1 in 5 Japanese people believe humans have secretly made contact with aliens?
And large part of their religion, and most religions, I mean, if you really think about it, and if by its definition, if you're thinking of God, not of this earth, it's alien in its form. You know what I mean? So, like, no matter how you're looking at it, whatever you want to call your dogma was not from here. So technically,
we about to piss some people off tonight. I am so.
And every religion has talked about it. Why do you think the fucking Vatican has observatories?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo,
do you know that the person that created the grandfather of physics was a priest?
If I'm correct, one of their telescopes is named like Lucifer or some shit like that.
Absolutely it is, yeah. But Lucifer in its definition means bringer of light.
Exactly.
It gets very sketchy with the linguistics behind a lot of this stuff.
That's and a lot of people are very uneducated on the
correct. Yep. It wasn't a name back then. It was just a word that meant bringer of light.
Yeah.
But again, once we got into the space of where like people who got money and influence wanted to play the game, once all the kings got a hold of the books,
yep.
You know what I mean? That's when shit got murky. I still believe that at its core, if you remove all the politics that people have put into these religions, at its core, there are a lot of great allegorical lessons in there to learn from, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, because it's a chronological depiction of a time frame and all these allegories are put in there. But again, if you look at a lot of like old paintings from Leonardo, all of these people, they've all depicted some UAPs or flying saucers, and like it's been common amongst every single. I mean, Sumerian text literally talks about how we were engineered to mine gold.
Yes,
you know what I mean. It's like
that, dude.
People think you're crazy for talking about this stuff, and it's like, no, actually, you're crazy for not, because if we keep dealing with all these people that think they know everything, we're destined to doom. There's going to be no innovation. We need people that are thinking about cutting edge shit. You know what I'm saying?
Like, if I'm correct, the ancient, like the text you were just speaking of, the ancient Sumerian text, they even mentioned that our DNA is comprised of the primates that were here on Earth and the aliens that came and found those primates.
It's something upwards of 80% of our DNA is unactivated, which is believed to be a part of their original. You know what I mean? So this whole concept behind superpowers, telepathy, I mean, it's already been proven. Why the government doesn't spend money on it if they haven't seen something in it that's substantive enough for them to put, black budgets into and all this other shit. You know what I mean? So when you see them spending money into telepathy and all this other stuff and studying all this psychic abilities and all this other stuff, if the average person on average is only, again, we have to stop being we have to get some modesty about ourselves. We still have a lot of evolving to do. We keep acting like this is the cream of the crop of what we got. Motherfucker, I want my Marty McFly skates hoverboard. Not some shit that like semi rolls and you call it a hoverboard. That's bullshit. I want my actual hoverboard. So we got a lot of work to do, people. Stop acting like until my car turns into a fucking suitcase like the Jetsons. We are not there yet. You feel what I'm saying? We got a lot of work to do.
And what up, Balenciaga?
Until I can walk up to some shit inside of, the fucking Star Command and be like, hot mochaccino, and that shit just evaporates out of thin air. Because we've learned how to control atoms. We got a lot of work to do. We have to stop being so cocky about where we are technologically right now. We're just in the baby phase. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is literally like we're infants in the vastness of time. So again, there's just a lot of cockiness that comes with like we're really just overly active, more violent, and in a lot of ways more uncivilized chimps. Because we're all primates. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all a bunch of primates, and we're actually dumber. Because I'm telling you, I sit here and I think weird shit like, how the fuck is it that there's people starving and this lady's carrying a dog in a purse? This motherfucker's getting a gourmet meal tonight while the guy's sitting right there like, we treat animals better than we treat each other a lot of the times. We have a deeper love. I know people that are staunchly racist, but don't say shit about Bambi. You know what I mean? So like, we have a fallacy in us as a species, and we're babies. We're babies as a total grand scheme of it, especially entering this age, we're babies. So there's a lot of work to do, you know what I mean? And again, like the whole thing with Japan's always been a hotspot. One of the greatest sightings ever was from a pilot over there who reported one of the largest sightings, and it was on a commercial flight, and all the people on the flight reported it too. It was like the largest report ever, you know what I mean? And it's still one of the biggest debated things, and it was on several different air traffic control radars and everything, you know what I mean? So just a lot to it. But if you ever get a chance, like really, 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 really look into Bob Lazar's story, because it hasn't changed for 3 decades at all.
True.
And most of the stuff that has come out from his stories have been proven. You know what I mean? Including up to the deal closer for me, the smoking gun, is element 115. Once they prove that element 115 in its unstable form exists, and it actually shows those properties and those little milliseconds of it being there, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about? We need to actually, and this is how it always happens. Galileo was locked up. He was in prison for telling us that we weren't the center of the universe. They locked that person up. The guy who told us, actually, guys,
we rotate the sun.
We rotate the sun, guys. Lock this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Facts.
People that you called witches back in the day were medicine people, and they were healing people and all this other stuff.
Now you want to know the fucked up part, right? You just mentioned Galileo. Did you hear about the Galileo telescopes that they're setting up?
I know that they're setting some up. The James Webb telescope has got me excited.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like, the irony of that they locked up Galileo,
and now they name one after him. I got you.
And they name a fuck ton of telescopes after him. It's like,
but remember, they thought Einstein was wrong too.
Yeah,
they thought Newton was wrong too, and all of them are right to a point. Yeah, people always think as right is finite. You're right until we learn something new. So just embrace that newness is always on the cusp. I actually appreciate that we're not all the way there and that we're just fucking a little bit more advanced chimps, running in this shit and arguing over dumb shit. Like, think about what happens after, like, we win a Super Bowl. And how people go nuts. Why the fuck would I, as a higher intelligence that can manifest energy out of my fingertips, talk to you?
At that point, there's no need.
At
that point, we don't.
You know what I mean? I'm not giving it to y'all. You're not ready. We're not ready.
No.
So if I think there is a form of secrecy, I don't think that we're controlling it. I think that if there is a deal with the higher power, clearly we hold no leverage.
Yeah.
So I don't think that we're controlling it, and I think that we're slowly being integrated. We might have reached a point now where we're trying to again, we're just now getting to the point that we have Elon who's creating reusable rockets.
True.
Which is mandatory for us to even get to the evolution of what something else could present us.
Exactly.
So that should tell you where we actually are on the scale, the celestial scale of when we should be presented something. I would love for it to happen in my lifetime. I think that we will find microbial life. In a lot of cases we have, from comments that have hit down, they found microbes in them.
That's true.
But the full scale, I am hopeful that I would see something like that in my lifetime, but I am doubtful only because I think that, and it has nothing to do with government, nothing else. I'm looking at society. We had a fucking Tide Pod challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got like 200 years, bro. We got like 200 years. We don't deserve it. Like, we don't deserve it. We had a fucking Tide Pod challenge, people. You know what I mean? We don't deserve it. We don't deserve it right now. Just being honest. I hate y'all for being so stupid and eating Tide Pods so we can't chill with ET and shit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to roll one with ET. You know what I mean? But y'all are fucking up the party because they're watching you eat fucking Tide Pod. Like, imagine, just put yourself, have some empathy, put yourself in an alien's position, and you're like, they got this thing called TikTok. And remember the fire challenge? These assholes are setting themselves on fire.
Yes. Oh my God.
Why would I interact with you at all? Your president's on TV talking about sniffing Lysol. Why would I interact with any of you?
Fuck.
Let's think about it. You know what I'm saying? So
you're not wrong,
reality
though.
of it.
See, that's the thing, though. You're not wrong. Because, like, why the fuck would I? Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to communicate with this species either.
For what?
If I can travel at the speed of light, like, why the fuck would I?
I fart galaxies. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go talk to this dude that is literally licking poles in the cold to see if their tongue stick. Think about what we do. We look at the cream of the crop, but that's the finest. You know, what's fucked up is because, again, I'm not excusing that 1%. I'm not at all. But what has that 1% done for the world?
Nothing.
Not much.
No, stop.
Well,
think about it again.
Wait.
Think about it. You're thinking about what they've spent on the world. What did their inventions do, though?
That's true.
We can't take that away from them.
That's true. You got that.
You know, evaporate Bill Gates. Where are we at?
No Mac. No computers.
Evaporate Steve Jobs. Where are we at?
No Apple.
Evaporate Elon. And then, and we all know that they didn't actually create it. It was their team. We all know that. But you still need a leader to put that team together to get the product out. So realistically, we have to start weighing. I mean, this motherfucker's creating electric cars. We're over here like.
What I think is
so at this point,
is that all of those people basically already had so much shit handed to them.
Oh yeah.
Think of somebody who doesn't have that shit handed to them.
But
what could they create?
No, here's my point though. That's not my point. Yeah. My point in what I just said was it's not on us. Yeah. I'm speaking from the aliens' perspective. Yeah. Who would I talk to? The motherfuckers who created something and actually pushed the species somewhere? Yeah. To an alien, I actually think the rest of us look like complainers.
That's fair.
Because who would I talk to? If I say, show me to your leader, I'm not bringing you to fucking Trump and the guy who's in Sleepy Joe right now.
No.
Like, are you shitting me? I'd rather them have a talk with somebody who's thinking about a futurist concept. Fair. Sometimes people don't understand that we it's not our fault we live in a capitalist society. But here's the kicker. It doesn't matter if you live in a capitalist society. It doesn't matter if you live in a
fascist?
Not fascist, not the communist. What's the other word they like to use? Socialist, thank you. It doesn't matter if you live in a socialist society. Both of those have the same flaw. Who is your leader? You can have a socialist. Okay, think about what we're talking about with socialism, right? And I'm not knocking it. I'm not just jumping on every little trendy fucking thing. So think about socialism, right? Okay, the government's in control. Capitalism, the government's in control. Okay. Now, do Nancy Pelosi, who has more freedom now, and all these motherfuckers got more freedom now, can't even pass budgets to fix bridges in our country. What the fuck do you think we're going to do if we give them total control? If we are going to push towards a socialist setup, my argument is you better get rid of all of the motherfuckers that's in there. And even if you do, here's the problem. Even in a socialist game, the socialist is looking at, I always tell people it's like gun laws. The only people that give a fuck about gun laws are people that follow laws. What about all the illegal guns? There's more illegal guns in the streets than are citizens.
Yeah.
True.
So you can make all the gun laws you want. If you haven't figured out how to get them guns off the street, play me a fucking violin.
Oh wait, hold on.
So again, now if I'm looking at it from the alien's perspective, my bad. Let me bring it all together. So now if I'm looking at it from the alien's perspective, again, who am I talking to? People who feel a kind of way, or people who are doing things and moving a kind of way?
I do the doing.
It's scary though.
Yeah.
It's scary though, but you got to think about it. Like Einstein was not loved in his time either. People didn't like him either. I mean, because think about it. We revere Einstein. He also made the atom bomb.
That's true.
Are we forgetting? The leader of the Manhattan Project. Oh, stole mad shit. Stole mad shit from Nikola Tesla. He stole, no, that was Edison.
Yeah, that was
Edison stole everything from
but
Tesla.
the theory that Tesla was an alien, though?
Tesla, Tesla had created wireless energy before anybody else. And there's some memoirs that had this, actually, the gentleman that owns Lockheed Martin bought all of Tesla's manifestos. And in those manifestos, there are literally stories and excerpts in there talking about how he was communicating, because he was the master of electricity. Like, everybody keeps giving Edison all this credit. It was Tesla's design.
Exactly.
Edison had a good filament, but it wasn't the long-lasting one. In fact, let's even go further. The reason that Tesla's design isn't pushed as much is because he made a light bulb that would never need to be replaced. There's actually this is not a conspiracy. This is a real theory. You can look it up. That the light bulb market is actually manufactured. So your light bulbs are purposely given a lifespan. Because what money do I make if you don't buy another one?
That's true.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
So it's all a game of balance. For me, everything is about balance. Capitalism doesn't have to be bad the same way a gun doesn't have to be bad. It depends on if I'm defending my family or I'm robbing a store. What are you doing? You know what I mean? With the things that you have at your disposal. How are you using these tools? Now, again, I'm not excusing those people, but I am saying that if I'm an alien and I have no concept of currency, and the only thing I can look at is what these humans are doing, I'm definitely not talking to the pole licker. I'm talking to the guy who's making fucking electric cars.
That's fair.
You get what I'm saying? I'm talking to the guy who's building reusable rockets.
I can't argue with that.
And I don't like that that's what it comes down to, but I'm unbiased even when I try to look at things as objectively as I can, even if I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at that point, because it's like you bring up a good point. If I'm an alien and I'm speaking to a species, I'm not going to talk to the fucking village idiots.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely,
I would not come to New Bedford.
Well, yeah, that's the last place I fucking.
Who the fuck am I talking to in New Bedford? And I love this place. I love us. Who will be the representative? We don't have enough shit going on. We're still talking about whales from 200 years ago. What the fuck are we talking about? And I'm not trying to knock the history at all, but let's be serious. People are walking their dogs. They love their dogs. Love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. Animal lovers. Let's march against all the animal cruelty, but we love talking about how we almost wiped out the whales. Let's just be real about it. Let's just be real about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we need something like the green energy that's coming into our city to rewrite our story. So we can actually be a part of something positive, green energy, positive, clean energy. You know what I'm saying? And have another, they said whaling was the thing that lit the way. And again, I'm not trying to take away from the historical context because I know and culturally it was a way of life and it was a different time. I understand that. But just because we don't give those excuses when it comes to other people in their past saying fucked up shit or doing fucked up shit. So we have to embrace that we were a town that damn there was a part of wiping out whales. And now our way of giving back is creating green energy in our city. We can always reconcile stuff. It's just about how people want to actually fucking do it. And if people actually want to educate themselves and be honest. But a lot of people just don't have the ability to embrace their wrong. So again, if I'm an alien, why am I dealing with humans that are so complex when life is supposed to be simple? I never talk about everything. A fucking cat goes to the goddamn river. Look, I'm out. You know what I mean? We are charging us for that same river water running through our pipes.
True.
Same river water. Cat took a piss in that and everything. It's we filter it. It's in your crib. Matter of fact, not only do we filter it, we're throwing fluoride and all these other fucking chemicals in it. I don't drink tap water. I refuse. People are like, oh, you're bougie. No, you don't understand what's in your water.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
We filter the shit out of our water. It's
not, just forget the conspiracy about fluoride and all this other stuff. There are metals and things that make it into your water. Just test your water. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's wow. We talk about Flint, Michigan. We don't understand how much of our country has bad pipes, especially in New Bedford. Nobody talks about it.
Like, actually, speaking of, it's funny because I've actually done the test myself. Like, because she was like, honestly, you really shouldn't be drinking the tap water. She was like,
don't do it.
She was like, besides the area, like, you don't even know what's in it. And I've lived in New Bedford my whole life. You know what I mean? So I've just always drank tap water if I'm thirsty. I did the comparison between the tap and the filtered, and blew my mind.
Probably obviously grossed you out, right? Like
right
immediately.
Right
Yep. That's what happened to me. I tested it.
Like I put it in sunlight too against
you
each
can
other.
see all the
crystal clear
minerals and
yo, I'm like, what the fuck? No way.
I'm telling you, same here. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, it costs a little bit more, but again, think about
worth it.
It's worth it in the long run.
Not worth it.
Correct. So think about that. Like, we got people that like we can't even tell people that it's not okay. It's not healthy. Not that it's not okay. It's not healthy to be obese. You can't say that in this climate. Like, people are like, oh, you're shaming. I'm like, I'm not saying nothing to nobody. You have a heart attack, that's on you, bro. I don't got advice for nobody. You understand? Some people come around me all the time like, I want to lose weight. I'm like, I don't have no comment. Because there's no right comment. There's no support in you. Look at what we did to Adele. I'm like, what is this? We loved Adele. She lost weight, and then I saw people attacking her. I was like, okay, I'm confused.
Yeah.
What's going on? Then you support Lizzo. Then you attack 50 Cent. I'm like, I'm confused. I don't know are we fat, skinny? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so once again, I'm an alien watching this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's far too many times where things happen in our society, and what helps me think objectively is I put my objective mind is the alien mind. It removes me, my body, myself from the situation, and I'm ET and how I'm looking at this shit. Like, boy, these motherfuckers can't even get the science right about a vaccine. I'm out. I'm not dealing with these at all. Why? Why would I chill with them?
Agreed. Fucking agreed though. Like
But just like us, we go to the safari and all this other shit to see the cool shit going on, and they're doing the same. We're Nat Geo to them.
Yo.
Yeah.
Realistically, yeah. Because actually, it's funny that you say that because, to kind of tie it in real quick to alien shit, you mentioned a whole safari. Of what they've told us about UFOs, none of them have ever attacked us.
Nope. And the funny part is we've always tried to attack them. And then the second funny part, because you're an ant. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look at what they threw at us. They threw their little bombs. Ah, these motherfuckers are defying gravity.
That's like little green army men trying to shoot at you with the little plastic guns.
Little toothpicks coming out.
Pea shooters. Like, they're not worried about us. Like, you know what I'm saying? If they are there and they have mastered traversing the universe, stop watching your movies because we don't have a chance.
Yeah.
And in fact, I can end all alien movies immediately.
Oh, yeah?
Why the hell would they ever have to invade to get rid of us?
They can just walk right in and do it.
Disease, famine, water supplies, you name it. They Live was probably one of the best concepts of showing like how they actually could functionally invade you without having to fight you.
Yeah.
The pandemic proved to me that we can be controlled in a way with very little resistance.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So think about, now that's just us. Think about something that has like supreme power. Like, boy, if you keep talking, I'm gonna turn you into a goat. All right, I'm just gonna sit over here.
Like, imagine just in the like this, my vape. Imagine just being able to be like this. Turn you into any. I have a little dial on here, and I can turn you into any type of matter I want.
Whatever, like Ben 10 and shit. Like,
yeah,
you're a fucking lizard.
It took me so much to explain that because I can't comprehend that. You know what I mean? Like, that's such a crazy concept to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to be like this microphone, just being able to turn that into a chicken, like.
But this
instantly.
the part that people are always looking for magic, and I don't know what more you want. We are currently taking all forms of things around. This is alchemy. Everything that we see in front of us is we just modernized it. Yesterday's alchemy is today's scientists.
Yeah.
They were doing the same thing. They were messing with elements, trying to mix them, bond them, see how they work, conductivity. It's really the alchemists who realized the conductivity in things, and then it changed to a science community once they put an academia around it. Alchemy was more Wild West at the time. But what happened was that, they wanted to try to put all of these great practices together in a place, and then academia is formed. And now you're sitting here with all these people who are scientists, and they're studying the same shit that alchemists were studying. The periodic table of elements was starting to be formulated long before scientists, because alchemists were already working in that field of what does gold do. We knew that gold conducted electricity thousands of years ago. It wasn't like, something foreign. What we had to find out is how do we get that gold to conduct electricity on this microchip that now is powering all of our shit. I mean, think about what the cell phone was. The shit was the size of a boombox. when it first came out. Now you're just like, oh, my whole life is in here. Okay, cool. You're not carrying cameras. You're not carrying a daily planner. It's right here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. Now, again, we have this. Look how convenient our lives are, and we don't have the power to traverse the universe. So something that has the power to traverse the universe literally can end us without even, you know what I mean? Like they're if it's out there, they're all Thanos.
You know what's funny?
We don't have a chance.
They've moved past this.
That's what I'm saying.
They talk to each other through
it's
their
symbiotic.
Mind. Yeah, like that. You know, I feel like there's obviously different types of aliens. Like I definitely see that there's definitely different species. Okay, now there's definitely the like the grays. You know, the little dudes with the beady eyes and shit. There's obviously those.
Yep.
We've obviously got the lizard people.
Yep.
We've obviously, there's the I believe they refer to them like Nords, where they're like the blonde hair.
Yes, Norwegian blue eye. Yeah. Tall whites. As they call them.
There's so many different kinds of aliens that are documented. That's the fucked up part. Like I forgot what it's called. It's a blue book. I know that.
The Blue Book Project.
Okay. Well, I'll see.
By the Air Force.
All I forgot was the word project. But yeah, that literally has so many different species of aliens documented. It's like I can see different ones being able to do different things. And this is such a fucking crazy conversation to have.
Well, what's interesting is because once again, we lack humility. We think of life only as in ourselves.
Yeah.
How many different forms of life do we have on this planet right now? And then think about it. We have thousands of different species on this planet right now, right? Now imagine most of the species prior to that were killed.
Yeah.
So what makes us think that there's not another? We're finding planets in the Goldilocks zone every single day now.
Oh, actually, I was gonna say I don't
We
know.
found super Earth, all this other shit. We found planets made out of diamond, all kind of stuff. So what would make us think that it's not possible? Like we got to grow up.
I don't know if anybody knows, anybody that's watching this right now, anybody realizes this. We're currently in a mass extinction right now.
Absolutely, yes.
Like we are currently destroying the planet.
Yep.
And like nobody's doing a fucking thing about it.
Nope. Nobody believes the weather's getting worse when you clearly see it happening. When the weather patterns are clearly changing, when the summers aren't like they were when you were a kid, and nobody's like, how do you not accept?
Warnings in places that there should not
super tornadoes and shit we're seeing now. Like this is literally stuff we was watching in movies like 2012, and it's happening, and people are just ignoring it. You know what it is? It's really mostly old folks that just it happens. It's a generational thing, and it's not all, but there's just a lot of old folks that just get set in their ways and their beliefs of what they know, and then it's cyclical. It happens generation after generation after generation. The reason that I work so well amongst young and old is because I don't age anybody. I just try to get people to understand different concepts and look at things from a more objective standpoint outside of themselves. Because too many of us don't do that.
I feel that. Because like, there's too many times where like, I'll actually try and sit down and have like a legitimate conversation with somebody, and they're just not on the same wavelength, and it's like. To bring it to the aliens. If you and me can't be on the same wavelength, how the fuck am I going to be on the same wavelength? Yeah, as an alien.
I love
something on another dimension.
Literally.
I love the movie The New Arrival because it went over that whole process of trying to understand their language and da-da-da-da-da. And like even think about it, like I love the concept of arrival because those aliens. I really am into this interdimensional concept as we're getting further into it.
Yes. You and me both, honestly. I definitely feel like there's...
from like the concept of a tesseract and all of that stuff. Like people look at stuff at like tesseract and they think, oh my God, Marvel. No, a tesseract is a real concept from the fourth dimension.
Yep.
And a lot of the times you're not realizing how many gems these movies are actually throwing in. Like when you see Avengers and it's like, oh, these things are coming out of this hole over New York City. That's what you would call a wormhole. Like there's scientific stuff that's in these movies that are being hidden there as Easter eggs, but you're looking for like other Easter eggs. Like, did they have like fucking Rocket Man poster in the back? Like, you're not paying attention to the shit that's actually being thrown into a lot of our movies. I mean, Captain America is not a fake concept. That was MK Ultra. That's what they were trying to create. And in a lot of ways, people believe they successfully did. A lot of people believe to this day, that a large portion of SEAL Team 6 can operate in the way they do because there's something else going on there. And again,
Makes sense.
we got people that are like literally trying to figure out new ways to smoke weed every day. You think there's not somebody trying to figure out a new way to soup up humans? So,
Facts. Like think of you brought up Captain America, the Winter Soldier, for instance. That's a perfect example of the MK Ultra.
correct.
Perfect example.
Correct.
He for instance, if you watch the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, it actually goes at like each episode, like there's different points that bring it up. But he's currently in therapy trying to break the MK Ultra. So like he's actively in therapy trying to break that.
Yep.
Like that's an actual concept that
whole show
crazy.
was great.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
a fantastic
even that people
show.
don't think like vibranium is actually a thing.
It is. All you need to do is change around. I think it's like 2 isotopes and
Correct.
You
And
have
you need to make it stable.
Yep.
That's the key. Is learning how to make these isotopes stable. Vibranium's a thing. All of this stuff is essentially
adamantium's
correct.
Possible.
It's all essentially possible. And where do you think they get these ideas from? They've been reading research papers. You know what I'm saying? Like Stan Lee wasn't a dude sitting around just like,
let me make up a word.
How could think about the concept behind the green turning green part is where you get a little hazy. But just think about Hulk. You know what I mean? Like the science behind it actually, if you're looking at it from a mutation standpoint, is possible.
Gaming brought up a good point. Movies try to normalize a lot of things.
Yes, they do.
True. That is very true.
Say, a lot of places people say that like movies and media are all based on fact some way.
Always.
Yeah.
So like all of the disaster shit entirely possible.
Because honestly, I get it. I truthfully get it. There's over 6 billion people on this planet, even though we're 4 billion past cap. That's besides the point. I get it. Like everybody's gonna have unique and different ideas, but some things are really too far on the fucking nose for it to be unique. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Some things are way too specific.
Yeah. Some things are just
this is why you need to watch Moonfall too, because I love that they had some stuff that in there that is like real mathematical anomalies that stump scientists' minds all the time. For example, how is it that the moon is exactly 400 times smaller than the sun and exactly 400 and something, whatever it is, there's a combination of 400 there. And the way, there's so much that goes into the moon being what it is for our planet to be what it is too. But again, people fucking Mercury's in retrograde. First off, learn your goddamn science. I love y'all. I'm all into it, but it doesn't actually spin the opposite direction. It's an optical illusion. Please, for the love of God. Because most people, when I ask them, what does Mercury in retrograde mean? They're like, it's having a bad day. Like, leave me alone, all right? Now, I respect the people that at least did the homework and can have the conversation with me, but a lot of y'all are just face value horoscope people, and I can't deal with all of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So at least know what you're talking about. But again, concepts like that, how you fall in astrology and all this other shit, but you don't understand how a black hole operates and how that celestial body can have an effect on you. You don't understand that. You don't understand quantum entanglement and how all atoms are connected, eons across the galaxy that they've tested. You don't understand the split light experiment and understand what happens, how light is not only a wave, but it's also, okay, here's the beauty of the split light experiment, because this gets really spooky, and I want you to look this up. If you never get a chance, please look up the split light experiment. So what happens is we wanted to study the behavior of light. First, I wanted to understand the speed. So they came up with this test, right? And the interesting part about atoms in this split light experience is an atom is what you call in superposition. It's all over the place, right? So it's in everything. It's in the ethos. The only time the atom becomes a neutron, proton, whatever we want to see, is when we're looking for it. So that's the creepiest part about the whole thing. The observer is needed in order for the atom to be observed out of superposition to exist. Now I just went super deep. Now, it doesn't matter if it's you, the flesh, or this can, or all of this shit that's on the table, this shit that we're talking to, atoms that are putting the signals together to send to you right now is all the same shit. We're stardust. All of us are made from stardust. This is a fact. So I'm actually going to jump for 2 seconds.
How? What do you guys think about how living and non-living things have a frequency or an energy, and give thoughts on that?
Atomically, that's all into what I was just talking about just now. Atomic energy. It's all about atomic energy. Atomic energy is the common denominator, the common thread amongst all things in the universe as we know it. So again, when you think about how all that stuff. Okay, let me give you an example. This is where I'm really gonna fuck with y'all brain a little bit. Minus the people who are colorblind, and minus the people who are blind. So I'm just talking about the people who come to a general consensus on things, right? So you're your own individual, right? You're your own individual, right? So why is there a preset that's underneath the programming of how we see things that makes it so that, because remember, this black phone that you're looking at right now, right? Your mind is processing its own internal computer to give you the code that this is a black phone. You don't never your eyes take in light, but your light never touches your brain. You understand what I'm saying? Your organ takes in that information. All your eyes are processors. So when you start to process that light through your brain, we all see this as black though. So who wrote the code in our computers, our brains, that makes it so that universally this is black? There's no argument. It's black, unless you're colorblind or something else. But in the quote unquote nominal brains, this is black. True. What is the code there that puts all of that together? Very true. You know what I mean? So think about that concept and try to think of the world. Look at the world through an alien's eyes a lot more. I know you're going to take your break in a second. Yep. And then I'm going to jump over here real quick.
You all are amazing people, blessed to be in a city with you icons. I love you all, and I hope we can all make a better world for each other. Fuck yeah, dude. I don't know who you are because your name just says gaming. So I'm assuming you're a game, but I don't want to play you. You're a fucking awesome. You're an awesome person, and I appreciate you.
Yes.
As you can hear, we got some banging tunes in the background. So, if anybody has any UFO experiences or stories or anything that they want to bring up, oh, it's Louie. Oh, what up, Louie? Fucking, if anybody has any UFO experiences, stories, or anything that they want to put into the chat, I'll put them up on the screen periodically. I'm going to pack a bowl so that way we can get ready to smoke it a few, because this podcast takes a lot out of you, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, in the meantime, vibe out to the tunes with vibing out to.
Yes, and I shall return soon.
I'm gonna move this mic closer so you guys can hear.
So I'll be on one for about 20 minutes, and then I can come back and look at you want to do. Sorry, guys.
Unpack the gifts God gave to you, show them who you are. I have faith, I have hope, I have joy, I have laughter, I am peace, I am love, I am light, I am power, I am here, I have arrived, so here I am, so here I am.
I told you I know a lot about this topic. I know you're probably surprised, like, holy shit.
So here I am.
I'm not surprised. I'm just happy that I have a knowledgeable
yes.
Letting spirits sing to me, waited long enough to get the message out there, even though the times are rough. There's abundance all around us, there's no need to look too far. Unpack the gifts God gave to you, show them who you are. I have faith, I have hope, I have joy, I have laughter, I am peace, I am love, I am light, I am power, I am here, I have arrived, so here I am, so here I am, so here I am, yeah. So here I am. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Let's hear it in the chat from Candida singing. That was fire. That was a whole vibe.
This is very interesting. I haven't done this before. And I actually there's an audience. So Peter is here. We're going to talk to Peter in a second. And Libsey is here. He was doing his podcast on the other side. So this is going to be fun, y'all. All right.
Slide over there.
Yo, that was a whole vibe.
Libsey, I'm going to have you come over later in a minute too.
Sure.
I know you're in the middle of your thing too, but you know.
You know what? I'll bring the whole computer setup and we'll just double podcast.
There we go.
Yep. How you do it?
So I don't even know if I did.
So you guys ready for that?
You are fantastic.
We going to invade a whole another show today, and this is going to end up on Spotify. This is hilarious. It's a whole vibe. You guys enjoying the show tonight? I know Luciago is enjoying this shit. It's a whole vibe.
While I'm talking to you, I'm going to see if I can share with you all so that you can watch me because no one's watching me right now. I love this learning curve that I'm going through right now.
Oh.
It's so much fun.
Well, while we doing this, you know what? We're going to get fancy with this. Hold up. We're going to get fancy with this. You ready, bud?
No, I'm not ready.
I know you're not ready.
I'm not ready.
My whole name is Peter Ronell Walker.
Right.
People get confused because some people know me in my capacity as Peter, some people know me in my capacity as Ronell.
We going traveling, everybody. We going outside to smoke. We going outside.
No, this is a bad idea.
Hold this real quick.
This is a bad idea.
Just hold that real quick.
This is bad.
We got this.
I can't with you.
We live. We're literally live. I don't give a fuck. Hey, yo. Hey, let's go. We outside. Nah, we're good. Fuck. Oh, wait, hold on. I got this. Yo, I really should do a Life of Libsey podcast where it's just me doing random shit all day. I think my boss would get pissed at work. You want to light this, bud? Tight. That didn't light. Can you keep lighting it?
I'm not trying to kill you guys.
Oh, we good. I wonder if I can get some candids. What if I can get some candid random people to talk? That would be fucking hilarious if I just got some random fucking vlog and do it outside of work. I could. I just probably wouldn't do the whole. I probably just wouldn't bring the whole laptop. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's so extra. This is probably the most random episode of the podcast. This is the most lit episode of the podcast. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I gotta fix my baton in my pocket. Went sideways on me. There we go. Much better. Name 3 road signs. Go. No parking bus stop. No parking bus stop. No parking over there. And then 6th Street. We got this. Oh, man. Did you hit that? Yes. Oh. Tanks. Yeah. You see what he said? Is that a baton in your pocket? Or are you just happy to read me? I'm just happy to read you. All right. I'm going to run inside because there's creepers around. I'm fucking downtown, bro. Make sure that's poked out. Hold that. I'll poke it out. I'll make sure it's poked out. That's all I need. That's all I need is for the space to smell like blood. I respect my man, Lonell. All right. Smoke break over.
My candy combos with Kimberly. I'm hoping to open up the space between say 4 and 7 to do music lessons.
There we go. All right.
Whatever it is they want to have music, and this is where I would like to do it.
It's your boy Libsey. What podcast you know that actually takes you outside the smoke on the smoke break? The fuck? There ain't no podcast that actually takes you outside the smoke with you on the smoke break. They're like, hold on, hear from our sponsors, and then they sit you through like 30 minutes of commercials. Suck my dick, nigga. I'm bringing it with me. Fire. It's a whole wave. Let's go. This is the Whooshie Gang podcast, and that's how we do it. Yes, exactly. Make your silhouette in chalk. You know the bars. Are you eating candy? Can I have a piece of candy?
I know how to sing, but I didn't start learning.
Have a piece of candy.
Piece of candy. Basic piano stuff. That's what you're doing. So.
Oh no, it's a roll low. I got bars that hit you so low.
He was giving me the opportunity to be downtown and offer some of my services.
I got Mo Flow, the rappers in SoCo.
And I understand,
the whole flow is so.
I know you understand this too as well. There's always
I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, Toto.
How we incorporate ourselves into the downtown economy, and there has been some reluctancy to.
Oh no!
And I just want our community, especially our brown community, to understand why it's you don't have a stake. Like, it's important to build in your community, but think about it. All these people that work downtown don't necessarily
buy a Whooshie Gang hoodie.
Go back into their communities. They're building that community by having themselves involved in the downtown economy, and you definitely want to be involved in the economy at this time because there's a lot of changes coming, and we have to keep ourselves whole. So, we've been advocating in this space for people to utilize the space for a while. But actually, we're very ambitious in our
it just so happens
this is a very intimate space, but it was proof of concept.
You want to come over
to open up our own privately funded and owned community center.
Last show the songs was dope. Appreciate you. I did perform 3 new ones. They were bops.
We'll be under agreement tomorrow for our own building right here in the heart of downtown.
So,
we're going to build out a
Louis, you need to come over to
community partners. And again, I think it's important to have building owners that are in the downtown
Libsey.myspreadshop.com.
It's one thing to have a small business, and
that's where you can get yourself a Whooshie Gang hoodie, my brother.
Own things. We need to have,
and actually, look at that right there. 15% off everything right now. Right now, we got 15% off everything.
So again, in its inception, this is a diverse.
You ever think about skating again? I think about it every day, but
the whole point is
I truthfully know my back can't handle it. I would love to skate, dude.
Becoming a better knitter.
Actually,
down to the community space, we figure out a way to incorporate you into whatever we have going on.
Maybe I can pull up the video that I'm in. Hold on, let me pull up that little skate video.
Communal space. But we work with our fiscal partner and our empowerment partner, as I like to call them, Third Eye, which is in the nonprofit sector. So if we see something that you have going on, you have the capacity to run your own program, and we will try to work through our funding side of the nonprofit side to find a grant or find funding so you can provide those talents to your community at large. It's about empowering you. There is an old guard of how people looked at Third Eye. We've worked diligently in the last 10 years to modernize it to what the times we are in now. A lot of people like to talk about the 90s and what it was, but this is not the 90s. It's very different. Just our phones alone have changed.
I don't know where that video is anymore, guys.
So we had to literally step up to the plate and be able to do things that were going to be able to engage the youth where they're at.
So for those who may not know what Third Eye, because I've said Third Eye.
I wasn't sure if he was podcasting or not. I am. I'm live right now.
All over the place, right? So just for those who don't know what Third Eye.
Yeah, so Third Eye is a youth empowerment program that's focused on creating transformative leaders through the 5 pillars of hip hop.
I have questions for Mr. Walker when he's back on. Yeah, he's coming back over. We have somebody else doing another podcast on the other side. So once he's done chit-chatting over there, he's going to pop back over. I've got questions myself. I still got a couple more topics I want to bring up, you know what I mean? So we got a whole we still got a couple more alien things I want to bring up. It's going to be a vibe.
is the most important pillar.
Your subscription.
Because knowledge is what's gonna make all the other aspects of DJing, breaking,
it was
art,
I signed up for
MCing,
Splice
and
under a
those
fake
four
email
capacities,
just so that way I could get the free trial and download some shit real quick. And
understanding the difference in
the subscription ended. So
affliction, diction,
I'll just make another email. It's fine.
Emphasizing certain points of your song.
We live. Let's go. Facts, yo. I love how I just had somebody walk in to the studio, to the venue, and just be like, "Oh, what's up? I wasn't sure if you were podcasting." Yeah, I'm live right now, bro.
There's nothing that we enjoy in life that. If you look at a billionaire or a millionaire or
Yo, that was
whatever,
so great.
that came from the creative.
That was actually mad funny.
You know what I mean? When you're writing a code for a computer to create software or whatever it is.
Yo,
art is
more people aren't watching because more people aren't sharing it right now. Like, the more people that share it, the more people see it. Yeah, I think that's how it works. I'm also no longer on Facebook anymore because Facebook wants to threaten to fucking take down my entire account if I try and use shit that has copyrights. So I told Facebook to suck a cock, and I'm just gonna do YouTube and Twitch. Makes my life a lot easier.
Listen,
you have a great personality, bro. I fucking love you. Hey, you know what? The love is mutual, brother.
Who's challenging themselves to think about different things.
If only you could pop down here and just make a guest appearance on the show, that'd be mad funny. We are so live right now that I just had somebody walk into the building and just be like, "Are you live?" Yeah, I'm live, bro. What's up?
Uncommon from the rest
that's
of my
mad funny.
Like
that honestly kind of just
I'm a ride with y'all my family.
Almost a highlight of the stream right now. Doing dabs like a kid naked. Oh, I thought you were saying you were doing dabs right now. I was gonna say slide through with the dabs, bro.
So again, the person
I was so excited. I was gonna be like, "Yo, slide through with the dabs. We'll smoke, we'll match."
Everything like that. I wasn't taking care of my business. I felt like I was a good dad because I took care of my kids, kept the material stuff there, but. How can you really be effectively a good father if you don't have healthy relationships with their mothers? You know what I'm saying? So I started reevaluating. That's when I met Samia Walker, who's actually a pillar, a beacon in our community.
Yo, Bluey.
And she put some of that juju,
fake,
you know what I mean? I call it the
shit looked like a goddamn cell phone.
Walks around and glitter just follows her. I don't know what the hell's going on there. That's true.
Next time somebody tries to ask me for a smoke, I'm just gonna... I'm going to hit this.
I'm lucky. I'm fortunate in the regard of that I met someone who...
And I'm going to pretend to answer a call.
...was able to nurture me in the way that I needed. And understand, see something
I'm gonna hit this and then just pretend to answer a phone call.
And fought me adamantly about it.
Like, look at this thing.
Because I believe I was destined to die. I wouldn't be here talking to you today.
Bro.
I thought
I'm good.
Literally was destined to die. I have 7 male cousins. Well, there's 9 of us in total and male cousins, and 7 of them are dead. There's only 2 of us left, and we all moved out of Boston. And that's when we survived. And that's my age.
Not even a USB, bro. Like, this is an actual vape. Like,
I'm not in the inner city anymore.
Like, I actually
and I don't want to
buy vape juice for it.
Running away from the inner city.
Not even a
but
fucking.
I will say this: if we're not going to police ourselves,
not even like a pen or a jewel anymore.
As a parent, I got to put my kid in a situation that's going to make it most conducive for them to survive.
It's like the best of both worlds.
To worry about things like their
so I've got like the jewel feel of it, where like it's a cartridge.
If we don't want people to,
but it's an actual vape for a
job. Getting back, remember, like
so.
The whole neighborhood was ready to snitch on you. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, so right now, so for those
so how you doing, baby
we are on Union Street in New Bedford. Now, I
how you
grew
doing?
up in this neighborhood. I remember when
I love your face.
I remember when before the mall came in, and
there we go.
We ran these streets. I was born and raised in Bedford. Okay, so I was one of those young girls who ran these streets, and I'll tell you what.
Oh man! All right, so I'm gonna throw on some tunage real quick. Throw on some dope ass fucking musicato for Gestiatos while I Street Fighter 6.
That's right.
Okay.
As I walked home
Say
by
less.
Mrs. So-and-so on the corner over here. And then,
damn, that got me hyped.
She would let my father know before I got home.
All right, let's. I don't know if y'all are familiar,
I got in trouble. So,
but this is. What the fuck? Stop starting when I rewind you. Yeah, so I don't know if anybody's familiar with this artist. See, the dope thing about YouTube and not being on Facebook is I don't have to give a fuck about the copyright claims. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the rapper Tara Reid. It's actually this dubstep artist named Getter. This is his rap persona. So, I don't know if you guys, how much longer is the other podcast? I'm about to come chill, bro. Slide through, brother. Slide.
There's a balance.
So, oh, you're only a 5-minute walk? Oh, yeah, then pull up, bro. Pull up, bro, because I'm about to play this song and then fucking, and then I'm going to fucking pretty much run outside real quick and hit the bowl a couple more times. So, check out this song. This dude's dope. If you like my music, you'll definitely fuck with him because he's like me but better. Just much better. Actually skilled. I have no skill compared to this guy. I'm very modest. Check it out. This shit's fire. I'll be right back.
My fucking eyes and you will see how your life could be before you met me. Don't wait, G, I met you and your little sister too. I broke in your house and blew chunks in a row. Now look at that, I'm chilling in your mama's bubble bath, relaxing, chewing on a shitty used napkin. I must have mistook it for your grandma's tits. She's in the zippers and whips. I'm talking freaky deaky shit, bitch. I'll show you a garden tools and throw you out like rubbish. Tie up all your limbs and then control you like a puppet. The bitches love it, putting cocaine in a bucket, serve it to the pigs and watch them cause a bunch of ruckus. Oh, it's like that. Well, kiss my motherfucking ass crack, bitch, and tell your dad I want my Adderall back. Bitch, I'll play you like Monopoly, destroy your property. I got a pocket full of pills, so please prepare properly. Because I am the one who is next up. Hit you with the uppercut, slam dunking in your chick's guts. T-E-R-R-O to the R, speeding down your block in a stolen cop car. Because I am the one who is next up. Hit you with the BMX X up. You better pucker up and kiss my gluteus. I'm not that new to this. Terror taking over, coming straight out the motherfucking loony bin. I got the spastic tactics and unique techniques. I'm Godzilla in the streets and King Kong in the sheets. Take away just to recover. I slice the booty cheeks like butter, then I nut under your covers. I used to fuck the pussy during math class. Now I fuck the pussy or the tushy while I'm driving real fast. R-E-I-D, he got the red disease and grabbing a gun that shoots motherfucking laser beams. You know anything is possible with these secret unlockables. Unstoppable, getting head from Kim Possible. And Ron's in the back with his naked mo rag. Give him a hit of acid and a DVD of Rugrats. What's the sitch? Are you hearing this shit that I'm spilling out my lips as I'm pulling on some whippet? Just sit back, relax and pay attention. The mass maniac is back and so your grandfather's whole pension. Because I am the one who is next up. Hit you with the uppercut, slam dunking in your chick's guts. T-E-R-R-O to the R, speeding down your block in a stolen cop car. Because I am the one who is next up. Hit you with the BMX X up. You better pucker up and kiss my gluteus. I'm not that new to this. Terror taking over, coming straight out the motherfucking loony bin. It's Tara Reid, motherfucker. Coming out the rubble.
It took me forever to actually go outside.
Someone grab a fucking mother.
But I'm about to play that right now. Boy, got another one. That shit is fire. So give me one more. How do you?
My nail tech knows how to keep it a little secret. I don't wish for my success, I speak it. I caught a buzz and you did too, but you tweaking. I look like I've been getting money, how reeking. You smell me, that's LV. Walk around with my chest out and my skin smooth, I'm healthy. I'm in a mix and I'm handshaking, but most of y'all can't help me. Most of y'all ain't wealthy. Most of y'all just dress like it. I caught the vibe that y'all giving off and I'm trying to make myself less like it. This chick got a little Porsche body, I might let the bro test drive it. It's hard for me to get excited. I love music and stressed about it. My city haunting, I'm co-signing this wave coming up next out it. Riding around in the shotgun and her Tesla.
got stakes and they too high, nah, I can't fuck up. I like girls that's down to earth, so don't be stuck up. I don't take L's, I give them out and I chuck them up. First listen, they hearing this shit like, what the fuck? 10 toes, that's my MO. Fam over gram, that's my MO. Fuck a close friends, I got friends that I keep close and they let it go while I reload. Like, bow, bow, bow. TSA just opened my book bag up and my chain hitting like, bow, 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 bow. King's back in his hometown when them wheels hit and I touch down, they bow, 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 bow. She down low, 3-point stands, I'm back there doing jack dance like, bow, bow, bow. And I'm not no fashionista, but I'm fly though. And I know I gave up drinking, but I'm high though. I told her I don't come from here, but you can try though. I'm not on top of this shit yet, but I'm that guy though. I take a look round at my comp and it's just wide open, big whip and it slide open. I notice they treat me like I'm chosen. Eyes open, heart clean and my mind focused. This shit just keeps going how I wrote it. How the hell could you doubt us? I mean, back then it made sense, but it's like, now what? Now they down to come round just to be round us. You ain't one of my dogs, why do you hound us? It's very few of you I like, but it's a whole lot of y'all I don't trust. Cause 10 toes, that's my MO. Fam over gram, that's my MO. Fuck a close friends, I got friends that I keep close and they let it go while I reload. Like, bow, bow, bow. TSA just opened my book bag up and my chain hitting like, bow, 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 bow. King's back in his hometown when them wheels hit and I touch down, they bow, 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 bow. She down low, 3-point stands, I'm back there doing jack dance like, bow, 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 bow.
So, like I said, if you ain't heard that song yet, that shit
as
is
an option to honor Black History Month.
That shit is so
not
good,
a lesson
honestly.
plan, chicken, not soul food.
I'm
Which
still
is
waiting for Jack
cultural
Harlow to
undertaking.
fucking hit
Chicken.
me up
You
for
understand what I'm saying? And I had a white woman come onto my post, and again,
I hit
we're
that
friends,
track.
so you know what I'm saying. I'm very candid about this. This is what I do for work.
Man.
Saying that she didn't see what was wrong with fried chicken because she knows
I'd hit that track and give that beat
she
emotional
saw fried
damage.
she learned about the concept of it from poetic justice, and I'm like, see, this is what I'm saying. You don't
I would
understand
fuck
about
that
black
shit up.
exploitation films.
Oh,
How so many
man,
of those
I would
films that
fuck
we
that
might have
beat
loved. I might have loved that film as a teenager. I love Vince Society. I love Boys.
What's up, bro? Yo, so check out who decided to pop up.
The harm that's doing to us. You know what I'm saying?
Look who decided to pop up. We got the homie Louis. I appreciate you, brother.
Got you guys. Got
You
you
understand what I'm saying?
guys.
And then we have
That's
to
way
we
to
don't
see
have
that both now.
Cosby's So like where are we at? You know, we need better representation
Yeah,
of
man.
ourselves.
I had to come down.
So I always try to look at the world from that's why I love this conversation about
Yeah.
I
I live
try
like
to
right
put
up the
myself
road.
in out of this world experience when I'm looking at what's going on with society a lot of times. So sometimes that requires me to have
like a couple glasses
the dexterity to remove myself from my blackness, my oneness, and
But,
look at humanity and say, we're all jacked up. And that's just the honest of it. So for me, a state of perfection is an
as a
illusion.
small
But in real
local
life,
rapper,
if you look at
how
everything
can a
that's
person like
opposed
me,
to
who's a
it,
big fan of your
balance.
music,
That's
help
what
promote
we do.
you?
Balanced diet, balanced love, balanced care,
By
balanced health.
well,
You know what I mean? We
I'm
have
not
to
saying
do
this towards you.
That's what
Don't
we're
worry,
doing.
you actually
It's
do.
trying to stay balanced. While we're
Actually
walking
showing
through
up to
this
shows.
journey. And sometimes as humans, we overcomplicate everything.
Actually
I
sharing
think
the
that's
music
the greatest
when
thing
I
that
post
we've
it.
ever, I mean, the greatest worst thing that we've ever done. is
Not even just when I
overcomplicate.
post
Like I was
it
just talking
either.
to on the other
Like,
side of the wall. The same
you know how
river
dope it is
that's
to just see a
bears
random
are going to
post from
drink fresh
someone,
water,
like out
We're
of the
charging
blue,
them
just
to
being
this
like,
place.
"Yo, we're pumping this."
You know what I mean? Like think
Blah,
about
blah,
what
blah,
I'm talking
blah.
about. Like we
And
have
it
water
just so
bills,
happens
all
to
this
be
other
me.
stuff. We
Like
don't have
that's a
the
fun.
altruistic
That just
nature.
makes me
I would
feel
love
good.
to
That
be
makes me want to
altruistic.
make
I
more
would love
music. You know what I mean?
But I'm
So
more
even just
especially
even
when we
just
live
the
in society
simple
now
sharing
with
a post
that are
that
rewarding
helps out.
deviant and negative behavior.
You know,
So how do we do
buying
that
merch. Like I have a whole merch store
incentivize
online.
and pay young
You
people
know,
that we see out
so
there making
buying
it
merch
negative
also
become
helps
positive.
because that
And
money
feel the power
usually
of
either
that
goes towards
and they'll be
bills,
paying
so I
for
still
that.
have a place to live,
It's the only way we
or
can back
that goes
you know
towards
what I mean?
stuff in the
It's kinda
studio, so I
intuitive
can
to
keep creating
to-
music
to
that you
know
guys
what they're
love.
supposed to be doing, but nowadays,
As an online influencer, what are some of the social media sites that you'd like to shy away from that maybe you wouldn't be agree upon joining?
That I wouldn't agree upon joining? Like what social media sites I don't fuck with?
Yes.
Parlor? Fuck Parlor. We don't fuck with Trump shit around these parts. I don't really use Tumblr, but I don't have anything against it. Snapchat I don't use either, and it kind of wastes my battery, so Snapchat can choke a cock too.
Yeah, I'll be your camera person.
Other than that, I mean, also that WeChat and the fucking
So let's start with the front.
those weird messenger ones, like the
Just check. You all get up here?
Yeah.
Take that down.
Oh
for 1
yeah,
second.
yeah.
So I'm gonna take you outside real quick just so you can see the facade.
Oh, whoops.
Libsey.
I forgot 2 totally different podcasts going on right now, so I had to put my tray away. So,
Libsey, as another, like I said, small local artist
We have a
that
wonderful
definitely has
library
the
here
aspiration, the desire,
that
the
the young women
focus
from our
to
sister
become
school are
huge
building
and the
out currently
potential to
right
become
now. We're
huge.
building a
What
few
would you
public
have for
libraries in the
people
area.
that want to start
We
their
have a
dreams
cafe
but just
area
haven't
over
yet?
here. Obviously, you can see we have a podcast space, a chill space with some of our
I'm
people
gonna
that's
take a
Libsey
page
over
out of
there. He's
Shia
actually
LaBeouf's
podcasting while we're podcasting.
Just do it. Just do it. Follow your dreams.
Then you come
Just
into
do
our
it.
gallery space.
Like,
where Candida's podcasting.
if I can
We have some of our artwork,
drop
the fellow on our wall,
200 songs on my own in 4 years
and then as you come over here,
from a cell phone, you can do whatever the fuck it is. Realistically speaking, that's what I gotta say.
When you're making music, is it genuine? Do you find genuine happiness making the music, or is it more of a process of making the music? Tell me where along the lines of making the music that makes you feel the most comfortable and lets you be who you are and get your emotions out. I want to know exactly what the music process is making to you.
So I'm not really an emotional person when I write. I focus more or less on the actual artistry and quote unquote mathematics of it. You know what I mean? I really enjoy rap being a fine-tuned machine, like having bars down to a strict like pattern, and just like I really enjoy that type. Like I just really enjoy perfection. You know what I mean? Almost like sort of like on a Dr. Dre level. You know what I mean? Like not so obviously I'm not Dre, but like his level of like everything has its place. So I like it to flow and be in that specific place. I don't care how many times I gotta re-record that one bar. Like as long as that one bar sounds right in my head. That's good. To just real quick expand upon that though, I also really feel like it depends on the situation too, because like I don't mind digging into my emotions. It's just not something that I particularly like to go towards. I just would rather really focus on like wordplay, bars, sometimes just making people mad. Like half the time I'm rapping shit that it's not real because it's just artistic expression. It's just music. You know how many rappers have admitted that like that a lot of their shit isn't real and it's just to piss people off. It's just to aggravate people, just to have just out of pure comedy to themselves. You know what I mean? So like Tyler the Creator for an instance, you know how much of his shit is just like real fucking like really shocked the shit out of people when it first came out. And then, like, he'd even say it himself, like, do you really think I'm, like, kicking babies downstairs and shit? Like, no, it just sounded funny and it rhymed. Like, the fuck? Like, you know what? I think the fuck? I just wanted people to go be like, did he just really say that? And guess what? It fucking worked. Because we still talk about Tyler to this day. and he's still dropping dope albums to this day. It worked. You know what I mean?
I think that what you just said is a great expansion on what it means to be not only a person but a rapper. I think a great example is Eminem. You know, he definitely talks about killing his ex-girlfriend all the time. Never does. But here's the thing:
and he's still regarded as one of the greatest of all time.
Yes.
And granted, yes, he doesn't rap like that anymore. And he did grow and elevate. You know, he evolved from that. You know what I mean? He got to a better place in his life where he doesn't feel like that. He doesn't rap like that. And you know, the fucked up part is, in that aspect, people want to take him out of that greatest of all time conversation because he got clean and doesn't rap like that anymore. But now that he back when he was rapping about trying to fucking like murder his mom and fucking murder his wife and take alien pounds, like he was regarded as the best. And you know, in my opinion, that's obviously way too far. Like there's shock rap and then there's literal death threats. So like there's a difference. Like,
there's another thing I want to expand on is that when I listen to Libsey music, there's almost a voice of Libsey that I feel when I'm not only making my own content, but I use your songs too, that work well with my videos because they have to do with, you know, like just making Fortnite videos and stuff like that. But there's a voice to Libsey, and I want to know how close does the Libsey voice meet the actual person behind Libsey? Does the persona have a close connection to who you are? Or is it a far connection? You like to distance yourself from your music making creativity side to where, you know, you can say things that you absolutely don't mean to have a laugh at, but people will still say, oh my God, he said that.
Yeah, that's real interesting. All right, here we go. I would truthfully have to say it's more or less like hold on. I have to say it's more or less like realistically like an escape, because like mentally I'm a very angry person. I try to be a really, really fucking happy person. It's just 9 times out of 10, I'm just getting aggravated by dumb shit. And there's just a lot of things that it may not aggravate me daily, but there are some things that just really piss me off. So like, it's not something that I would typically vocalize and just not something I would typically talk about. But when I'm writing music, it's an escape. And it's a way for me to be able to talk about that without actually having to word that. You know what I mean? Without actually having to put in the actual content. I can leave it somewhat vague, where if you know, you know. And if you know, I can still fucking together. You know what I mean? Because I'm just writing what I want to write. I'm just writing an experience. Sure, there's like sometimes there's bars where it's like you know, in regards to like females or whatnot, 9 times out of 10 I'm writing about my wife. Like, she is my number one ride or die. I'm not saying that because she's on camera sitting across from me. That's genuine. Like, I've told her that before, and I've told other people that before. So, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's never, I never once like think of another female when it's. I'm sorry.
Bring it back up just as soon, Mr. Lionel Walker. I got questions for you too.
Oh, I'm coming.
I never once like think of any one person in particular, except for in that instance, because I don't ever want my wife to think I'm thinking about someone else or writing about someone else. You know what I mean? That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful to our relationship from me, and I don't rock with that. So like, I always make sure there's that fine definition, and I always make sure that like I don't really write too many like clubby, vibey, let me get your pants girl type of shit. I don't really write like that. You know what I mean? Very rarely, if somebody asks me for
I'd still be writing about her.
I get it. No,
you know what they say? Write a love song for someone, but make it sound vague, and it's a hit.
I usually do that, but like at the same time, it's like I don't want the idea to get misconstrued. You know what I mean? Like I don't ever want things to be questioned or anything. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't usually write about shit like that. But most of the time, like, it is an escape. It is like, I wouldn't even call it a I guess I wouldn't even really.
I love the Libsey voice. Just being honest. But listen, I can't keep you here too long. I know Mr. Lionel Walker's waiting to sit down in his seat. If you want more questions like these, definitely please hit me up. I'd love to come on a podcast one day and give you hard-hitting questions like these that will make you think about things. But for now, I'll sit on the sidelines and just hang out and observe just the way I want to do.
But yeah, no, like, see, now you got me kind of like, now you got me stuck.
I do have a good question for you, Mr. Lionel. As somebody who creates his own content, produces his own content, and tries his best to promote local artists, and not only local artists who make music, local streamers and stuff like that, what do you think is the best way for me to promote them, to help them grow, to help them thrive, as someone who also wishes to create his own content, to one day be able to say, I know how to promote my own stuff? What would you say to me?
The problem with, so my quick answer, honestly, I don't fucking know, because artists are fucking pain in the ass, to be honest with you. So you have to have a lot of patience to navigate artists' egos and stuff like that. And sometimes they don't realize a good thing until it benefits them. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like the communal space, when we first started here, it was like, it's small, you know what I'm saying? But then this small little place has turned into like the home or the hub for what's going on hip hop in the city right now. You know what I'm saying? But again, in the beginning, people couldn't see that, but I saw that we didn't have any spaces left. You know what I mean? So, I think one of the easiest ways to do it is what I'm doing with like showcases and stuff. So like, my space is always open, but if you start like locally, like putting together a little music thing and making that a part of your thing. Like tonight we're doing a show where you're streaming it. I'm
not even gonna bullshit. You said MySpace, and I immediately thought MySpace, like MySpace, like, bro, that just fucked me all up. I'm not even gonna lie. I gotta stop smoking.
But nah, there's
It also is one of those questions that already has the answer to it, where mainly you have to say, if this is what I love doing it. And if someone puts you down for it, you have to say, screw them, they're not my demographic, move on, and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a mixture of that, because you still have to have enough modesty in yourself to know when something's working and it's not. Because like your worst enemy sometimes can be your own ego, and you don't have to listen to people if you're getting results, but if you're not getting results, you might want to figure out who you can take advice from to get results. You know what I'm saying? The most dangerous thing you can be sometimes is to think that you got it figured out. I've been doing this shit a long time. The reason that I keep evolving and expanding on what I'm doing is because there's no ever at a point do I think I have it all figured out. I'm still open to learning the new things and evolving with the times. You know what I'm saying? So like when I thought I had it all figured out, I was struggling. When I stopped head casing it so much and just started, the old adage, if you build it, they will come. Right? So I had to build the platform and build these spaces, and how the best way to support an artist is to give them a space to perform from, right? So instead of me chasing them all around the city, I created a space for them to come, and honestly, you taking the effort to come through the door at least gives me enough information to say, okay, they'll make a move. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of them that are just studio artists. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of artists that are just studio artists. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of artists that claim all of this blah, 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 but they won't come out to perform. And they try to act like it's because they think that they're too good to do performance here, but they're not performing anywhere. So you're too good for your own shadow, apparently, because fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So,
I love that.
And I'm too business. You know what I'm saying? Because like I won't lie to you as an artist. And too many artists just want people that are going to sit around and tell them what they want to hear. I'm not that guy. So you don't want to come to me for that. If I'm going to motivate you, it's going to be my honest opinion. Now, that doesn't mean you have to listen to me. I'm cool with you not listening. Like, that's because you're your own person. I always finish it with, you got to make your decision. This is what I think. This is what I did. This is it. But you're still your own person. But at the end of the day, man, a lot of these artists, again, if they don't get out of the doing only local shit, you know what I'm saying, then where are they ever going to go with this? You know what I'm saying? Even these algorithms, I mean, look at it post-pandemic. We all seen the shift in the amount of people retaining, people watching, and viewers and stuff because of, and people, everybody's looking at themselves like, what am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. Facebook and all these platforms rigged the game now.
One thing, as a very positive influencer, that's how I feel you are, very family man and everything like that.
Thank you.
How do you take to people who promote negative influences and get more attention that way? Do you feel attacked or any undermining states along those lines? Because, I hate to say it, but everybody loves to watch a fight. Nobody loves to watch a preacher. But you have stuck your ground and you've done your best to influence positivity, and I absolutely love it. But like I said, everyone loves to watch a fight.
I'm not gonna lie, I did wake up the other morning and go straight to watching like Karens and like bum fights and shit.
So
definitely a live version for it.
Right before work.
My secret really is because I came from that side of the life. If you didn't come from it, you can't duplicate it. Because I came from that side of the life, I walk a line. So I appreciate everybody seeing the family man and da-da-da-da-da-da. There's still a person that keeps that Goonie aspect in there so I can communicate with people. That's how you get a Gangsta Miz in here and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all of their troops. And notice, like, I've been doing this 10 years in New Bedford. I've never had a fight. I've never had an issue at any of our events. We've had close calls and crazy shit. He's one of them.
What happened with me? I forgot.
It's whoop-ass gang.
Ralph the Ruler. Shit. But overall, I've never had that.
Oh shit, we still live too.
Yeah, I never had that because the street element that comes around real. You know how they say that saying "real recognizes real." Yeah. Well, okay, that doesn't only apply to the streets. If you're a real dad, you recognize a real dad. If you're a real woman, you recognize a real. If you're a real gerbil, you recognize a gerbil. Whatever. You're right. I don't give a fuck what you want to be. Be what you want to be. But my point is when I'm dealing with a street element that walks through the door, even in my suit, they can feel that he's got a different element than him. You know what I'm saying? It's not the standard suit and tie. Again, most people that are doing the work that I'm doing will not hold this event. Let Libsey come in here.
They will not.
They will not.
I will say that right now.
Yeah.
I am so happy
to
on these events as a huge, huge fan, and I love supporting and coming through. My God, I have a son, and I'm there for him most of the time. But Lord, if I didn't, I would fucking be here every time you guys have
I appreciate it.
You guys know that. And the only time I'm not here is because I didn't have a babysitter or I was way too busy giving my son attention.
Of course. We don't have lives live. That's nothing.
My God, even you guys stream that stuff on YouTube and Facebook. That is like above and beyond. Nobody does that.
A perfect example.
You guys are literally paving the way. I'm telling you. If you guys don't blow up and somebody does, they're gonna look back on you guys. And I'll be able to say these people were doing it first.
I appreciate it for real because even when like look at the Contra stuff I'm doing. Nobody would take that on, and you have to have a certain element in you to take that on. There were people that were sitting in the building when I did the face-off. I don't know if you saw the face-off one. It's absolutely epic. If you haven't seen
it was
the
wild.
March 12th
wild.
Contra face-off, there's a face-off battle coming on March 12th for $10,000 between two artists, right? They both put $5,000 up. This is not an illegal wager. We have signed contracts and put it in a way that it's a business transaction. And on top of all of that, they just had a face-off on the 18th, and it's on YouTube right now on the I Am Still Ill YouTube. Please go check it out. I'll make sure Libsey shares it on the links and all that stuff. Yes. It is the most hilarious shit all time. But if you want to see the difference between the guy in the suit and the guy from the streets, there's a little mixture of that, and there's only you'll get what I'm saying about having a certain element in you in order to be able to maintain those two gentlemen that I'm sitting in between because they're both from the streets. But guess what? There was a level of respect for me because they both know me from that same area and they respect my transformation, especially as they become older and become more productive fathers.
I watched you for years before I even talked to you.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, even like somebody like Alex Carr, when I first met Alex, I was still rough around the edges, and Alex always reminds me, he was like, I was afraid to talk to you when I first met you. I'm like, I'm glad that I've become human enough for you to approach me. Because I love Alex. That's my dude. So I code switch, you know what I mean? And I'm a chameleon. You know, even though a lion's my thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I blend, you know what I'm saying? And then but here's the most important part. All the funders and all the people that I'm dealing with that are higher ups, right? That are deciding how this money gets allocated and comes to us, because that's really what my best skill set is, right? I don't kowtow to them. I don't hold no punches. I tell them, if you really want to, you guys have been doing this shit for decades, throwing money around out here. Nothing has fucking changed. I have I probably, this program that what we do here at Community Space, it's not even a probably. We have the most diverse events in the city Period. Every other pocket is its pocket of whatever people feel comfortable with. We have the most diverse. If there's 20 people in here, there's a whole shitload of diversity. Spectrums, everything. You understand what I'm saying? We got people that probably are right-leaning, probably they're all in the same building, and we're all having this conversation because it's steeped in love first. And no matter what, as long as you're not like, F you, nigga, like, whoa! As long as you don't Joe Rogan me.
Whoa. Not that kind of podcast. Not that kind of podcast, I promise.
That's a savage thing.
We can work this out. And even then, I'll give you an example. I was in an experience where the guys with the tiki torches came to the Boston Commons. And I went out there. It was my first march that I was going to myself, right? And I went out there, and there was this young white kid walking through the crowd with a MAGA hat on. And that's all he had, just a MAGA hat. Because I came from a place where people die over craziness, you know what I'm saying? I did not see the hat being enough for people to just start meleeing this kid. Now, I know there's people that are less mature and don't understand that, but most of those people that talk like that do not understand danger. 9 times out of 10, most of the people I talk to that talk revolution are talking out their ass. They're not gun owners. They don't know how to fucking load a gun. They don't know how to start a fire. They don't know how to salvage nothing. You know what I mean? So, again,
Libsey, you want to come over?
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? We about to combine powers right now.
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you guys so much for answering my questions.
Of course, brother.
Like I said, if you ever want me again, hard-hitting questions, I have a whole list I'd like to display to you.
Oh shit, just let me know.
They're all written down already.
Oh shit.
You in here blind with such hard-hitting questions like that?
That's fair.
Libs, you can go right there and put your mic right there.
Gotcha.
So Libsey is coming over.
And if you just scoot over a little bit.
Okay.
Bang.
Yeah, right there. Right to the right.
We switching up. Oh, we got, see that?
Laptop cart, right?
Hi, people.
And hello.
This is Libsey.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Tell them what you do, Libsey.
So, my name is Libsey, L-I-B.
Libsey, I'm sorry, Libsey. See, I'm getting everybody's names wrong. I'm sorry.
My name is Libsey, L-I-B-S-E-Y. I am an artist out here in New Bedford, Massachusetts. I rap, I podcast. I'm actually also live on my screen over there. I produce all of my own music. So not only am I an artist, I rap, write, produce, record, mix, master. I have my own studio. I have 4 studio albums out, as well as two EPs. One's coming out at the end of this week. I have a ton of music. Do you swear on your podcast? You don't? Okay, then I will watch my.
Don't do it.
I will watch my.
Anybody who knows me knows that Candy doesn't swear. So.
Well, then I will be good.
But I don't. But no judgment. So no judgment.
So how's what do you do on your podcast? I was kind of listening.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. Why y'all?
This is brand new, fresh out the gate, teaching how to use StreamYard and everything right now.
No doubt.
So what's cool about this, right, is like this is the perfect example of what we're talking about, like what we want to do here at the communal space. We got 2 podcasts going on simultaneously at the same time. What's up over here, Libsey's crew? And the dope part about the whole thing is look at what we were talking about in both podcasts is what we provide here as far as diversity. And people that are different from different walks of life, different musical backgrounds and everything all in this space. And this is what we're talking about. This is the beauty of the communal space that you're looking at right now, where someone who's been doing this for a long time, lifelong member of her community, Candida Rose, who's a pillar in her community, and then Libsey in his own right, doing his own thing in his community for a long time. And, it all coming together. And Libsey's one of those examples of what I'm talking about, somebody who his music is wild, you know what I'm saying? But he's learned through being here how to balance that message so we can actually do different things in different realms that bring people's eyes to him as well. So he's one of these people that I'm talking about when we talk about balance. He's still Libsey. He's still Libsey, absolutely 1,000%. But he always had this concept of community. It was just about, and like we were talking about earlier with my man Louis, about people incentive. We've all been trained to a degree in this music thing to be incentivized to go one route with our message. And Libsey's a person who has found that balance in himself to create different kinds of content that can be positive for his community while still expressing himself. Because sometimes people take the music too literal, and some of it's just literally self-expression and dealing with your own mental health and stuff that you're going through. So this is, again, proof of concept of what we try to do here at the community space and the different backgrounds of people we try to bring together. Even though Libsey's just another black guy, I don't know what happened. I'm still waiting for his Ancestry.com to come back, but I'm pretty sure his hood card is valid. So,
well, I appreciate. I've been waiting for a hood card, so I appreciate. I appreciate a valid one. I appreciate a valid one. It's on my podcast. I have it. My shit's recorded. Hers is recorded. Fuck yeah.
Stop swearing on our
Excuse
podcast.
me. Sorry. I'm excited.
Again, so this is what we do here. This is what it's all about. Today's been a wild day because, you know what I mean, jumping back and forth from podcasts. You can hear us talking amongst ourselves. But that, again, that's what the communal space is about. And I think ambiance adds value to every podcast. So I'm appreciative. Oh, Louis got something he wants to ask.
I just want to ask. I'm sorry.
I'd be down to do
Who
podcasts.
Who am I?
Let me hear.
Who am I?
See, and that's what we're bringing generations together.
Who am I?
We bring generations together. This is
Who am I? Okay, so my name is, what's my name? My name is Candida Rose Baptista. Musically, I am known as Candida Rose, and I am a vocalist, entertainer, educator, cultural educator, author. What else? Did I miss something?
Social influencer.
So
now,
you're online, you're streaming, you're a social influencer.
I have 7 folks that are watching me. I don't know how influencing I am.
You've got more people watching you than I have people watching me. So
as far as
doing better than me.
Great question. As a social influencer, someone who wants to make their point across and promote positive influence to people, what is the best way for somebody who wants to promote you to do so? What would you suggest that somebody who wants your word to get out there, help you get out there, what can they do to help you?
Watch my video.
Yep.
And share it to what sites? What sites do you find the most positivity when it comes to?
I don't know. I'm still learning.
Still
I don't
learning.
know.
Okay.
Well,
no problem.
maybe
it's a
Peter
growing
knows.
experience.
I'll
It's
add
just a hard hitting question.
No. I love that question because it's a hard. It feels like a hard question, but really the honest aspect of that is if it's positive, is it gonna get spins on the sites? That's where we are now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true though.
That's what sucks
That's
about
true,
some of this.
But for me,
But if you do have people like DJ Juice Beat, for example, decided he's not spinning trap music anymore. Well, with him saying that, then that means if you got some positive
It was drill.
not playing drill music anymore. But if he's saying that, then maybe there's an outlet there for people who are playing more positive stuff for their community to get in contact with them. But the game is just a little precarious at the moment. But
See,
I get what you're going
so
for.
to answer your question, what I just said on my folks to my folks before you guys all came over here is like, okay, if you guys can keep playing the video and then maybe Oprah can see it, because of course if Oprah gets to it, then it's all over, right?
Over.
Then it's all over, right? So yeah, I mean I know that's kind of joking, but those
No,
are,
for real though.
But that's real though.
No, it to me it's just a question of like, yes, absolutely. When someone watches 90 seconds of your video, that counts as a view. But what can we post to help Oprah see your video?
I don't know.
That's the
question.
That question is it's kind of it's backwards because do you know Oprah's habits? You know what I'm saying? We have to know these people's habits and what they watch and look at to pick people out. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to. You're asking a great question, but again, we're living in a time where people have less interest in the news, so that's not a platform anymore. People are going for trusted stuff on any count. You know what I mean? Podcasters are really, and bloggers are really holding it down. But again, because the media got us trained into this clickbait thing, they're only willing to share the drill rappers killing each other. It's very, very hard. I appreciate the question, but it's very hard because the capitalist state of the music industry right now is look at what we have for female rappers. And then look how we want to empower that when we have Rhapsody out here who expresses herself sexually and everything too, but she also brings balance and education and da-da-da-da. But we're going to put it this way. Again, not speaking ill on the females because the males are 10 times worse. But you can see a closer polarity because there's not as many female rappers in the game. You can see a closer polarity. Queen Latifah is not going to be popular in this era right now.
True.
That's not what they want. You feel what I'm saying? So it's harder for an artist with a positive message to get themselves out there, but only if you're depending on social media. Positive artists are the underground. The underground has to be outside. So essentially, you have to go outside and build fans the old way, the organic way. There's 100,000 artists in this goddamn city. Ain't even that many people. There's more artists than people. And shit.
That's so true. That's so true.
And how many of them bust?
I know I've never had.
Just for the purpose of people seeing you when it's free. Think about it. If you can't conquer, if you're trying to fight to be the king of the hill in New Bedford, and there's only 90,000 or so people here, and you can't fit, I have only been here 10 years. How did I incorporate myself into a way that a lot of people know me? Take the same steps. I was outside. You know what I'm saying? I would post up on the corner. We had Darnell at one point, rapping on the corner with just that speaker over there, plug in a beat and rap.
No, that's,
you know what I mean? We forget about the tribal nature of music.
Right. I mean, then again, you forget that Darnell is like a whole different animal.
Oh yeah, he's
like that you can throw on a beat and that kid's just gonna rap. So,
but what stops you as an artist? People always talk about they think too far ahead. Okay, you're not ready for a national tour. Are you touring New Bedford's parks?
Right.
That's fair.
Right.
Are you touring New Bedford's? People want this instant. This phone is poisoning us to want the instant gratification too fast. Right. Joe Rogan's not Joe. I hate to use him as an example because he's out here dropping in-ROM compilations. Anybody else? $100 million worth of game. All of that. Gilly was a failed rapper.
Russell Brand is a great.
Russell Brand, another one. Gilly was a failed rapper in terms of sales. Guy Ghost wrote for Wayne, all these other artists, Yeah. His resurgence was in that space. You know what I'm saying? But again, you have to. Why do people gravitate to him? Because he still has that. You can smell the outside on him. There's people that are doing this stuff, social media wise, and you can tell that they're actually outside. And there's people that are just having conversations amongst their own elites through podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
I have another question.
Sorry.
For you. I love asking questions.
No, what is your name?
My name is Louis.
Louis. So we got Louis. Louis, come over here.
Yeah, come over here. Take my spot. Take my spot.
Sorry.
I'd like to do a podcast with like, ask the question.
Please.
Ask the
and so
This is great.
I had somebody answer said, tell your friends to tell their friends, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was saying earlier.
So,
Tell your
The
friends.
sad part though is a lot of people share Beyonce before they share their friend.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Say that again. You need to say that again.
Yeah.
The song
Are you
said-
listening to this, my friends? And I love you. I have like 4,500 friends on Facebook. I don't know how many
And
of
I'm
my
a
friends
person
have shared
I
my
don't like
video.
to watch
But say that
main
again.
media.
The sad part is most people will share Beyonce before they share their friend's business.
I know I'm not Beyonce, but I'm trying. I've got a good
Close
message in
to
my
it,
song.
close to it. But
No, but I've got a good message in my song. Love each other through that. I'm going to end with when we're all done talking about this. The message, the message in the music sometimes has to be more than just like the person who's singing it. It's the message in the music. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just have
Maybe go on a tangent.
You let me know. But so as someone else who loves the idea of streaming and being a social icon, I want to know. I know that it takes a lot. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of focus to do what you're doing right now. What do you do to not only unwind but prep yourself for what your streams?
Oh wow, that's a good question.
I've heard that a lot today.
You've got a lot of good questions.
He does. I love Louis for this.
What do I do? So, I don't do anything that I really prepare, except I try to pull out my book and write down what I want to say to everybody. Although I didn't do that today because I didn't have time. But just kind of what is it do I want? What's the message that I want to get out today?
That's
What what do I want to think about? Because my whole purpose in doing this is to connect with the people who ask me a lot, right? People ask me, what do you do? What are you doing? What are you doing? When are you going to be performing? What are you still singing? So, there's all these questions that people are asking me a lot. And because I am in lots of different circles, like people know me from a spiritual level. Some people know me from the R&B side. Some people know me from the Cape Verdean cultural community. And so there's all these different pockets of that I'm in. And so I wanted to use this as a platform to bring all of my people together and like, okay, this is what I'm doing in all of these different places. And that's what I was trying to do here. In terms of preparing that though, it's making sure that I'm thinking about all of these different things all at the same, all at the same time, and being consistent. Because the hard thing, what I keep hearing is, if you're going to do it, you got to do it, all the time, or at least once a week. You have to be consistent.
I know,
and that's not always easy.
If you miss a day, you're almost not even in existence to most people anymore.
Right, and that's not always easy because of the work that I do. Like I sing, I sing pretty much most of the day. Like I sing for, people know that I sing for nursing homes, assisted living, adult daycare centers, senior centers. That's my day work. So that's my full-time work is performing, and then my part-time work is performing as well. So I'm always doing whatever else I can do, from funerals and birthday parties to weddings to whatever else, and so it's hard to figure, like, how do I prepare for this? It's just understanding where I'm at and what I think I want to share, what I want to share with my people, and trying to be visible, and trying to just trying to be the artist. Because if you're an artist and you're just keeping it to yourself and you're not really sharing your art, it's sharing your art with the world. Exactly.
So in an online media source where there's millions of views a day and most of the views are on negative content, how do you try to portray positive energy to your viewers? What's the best way you think?
Singing. I just sing. I sing positive stuff.
Okay, that's good.
Right. I just sing.
Rhetorical question.
I just sing positive. I just sing positive stuff. Right, and that's those who do follow me and do know me, because I know there's a few folks that are with me right now, but I know that later on there will be more people watching.
That's a good number. In the world of podcasting and visualizing, that is a great number.
You all rock.
Really
you all
good.
rock.
Yes, you all rock. Thank you for being here. I love you all.
You all rock. You all.
Thank you for being here listening to my questions.
Yes. You all rock.
Yes.
But just positivity, like just bringing positive energy and positive things to the people who are watching me. So yeah.
Even with what you're doing now, what are some of the things you aspire to grow into, and some of the things that you would like to bring to your cast and to help people portray positive energy? Like, what are the things that you can say in the next 2 years, this is what I would like to be doing on my stream?
Well, I think eventually I would like to bring other people, like kind of what we're doing. This is like the beginning.
This
right?
is cool.
This is kind of like the beginning. Right?
I live up the road. I came here just for fun.
So I think what I would like to do is, be able to bring people in either virtually or in person to talk to my folks. And to let people know what other people are doing. That this is really this is really cool. Like, I wasn't expecting all of this, so this is like really
what happens when you be here?
Exactly. This is
That's dude, right?
Exciting.
I love that guy.
This is pretty exciting. But because I am a cultural educator, I want to continue to do more of those kinds of things, do more cultural education. Because I'm Cape Verdean descent, born and raised right in this area here, and so I want to use this platform to teach people about like my culture and my background and where we come from and where I hope that we're going, but also sort of combining our efforts and uniting all of us, so that we have a united front.
Love of cultural differences. I really appreciate that. I really
thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah,
absolutely love that. I love asking you questions. You answer them so great.
Candid combos with Candida.
Really
this is what this is supposed to be.
I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you so much.
This is Louis.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much again. You have been an absolute sweetheart, and I share you on Beyonce any freaking day.
Oh, she is.
So
Okay.
That was interesting having my stream hijacked for a little bit, but
Can I sing for your folks?
Oh, sure. Heck yeah.
Let's go.
I'm gonna. This is fun. This is really a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to sing this song that I was going to sing like 20 minutes ago, but that's okay because I'm going to sing it now.
And this goes up on Spotify too, so my episodes go right up on Spotify.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. All right, am I doing this right? Peter, help me. Okay. So this is a song that I wrote. Oh, it's supposed to hold on. There we go. Okay. So this is a song that I wrote in 2020. It was the summer of 2020 as we were going through this pandemic and sort of the beginnings of this pandemic. And as we were also experiencing the sort of the civil unrest in this country that we were experiencing, particularly with the tragedy of George Floyd. And so there was a lot of ugliness. There was a lot of awful things that were being said and done. However, my daughter is a CNA, and she and other healthcare workers were on those front lines helping people. And I would see her in her sort of what they call hazmat, the masks and everything, and she would go to work, and and other people who were first responders and the firefighters and all of the people who were loving us through this time. And so this song is dedicated to and all those also who were frontline on the Black Lives Matter when again with George Floyd, and that sort of gave us it really put it in all of our faces. And so seeing how all of the people came together, and even right here in New Bedford with people like Eric Andrade, who, with the Black Lives Matter events that were happening. So this is dedicated to all of those who love us through these difficult and challenging times. In a world so filled with chaos, when all our hope seems lost, there are treasures we must hold on to, no matter what the cost. Compassion, kindness, and empathy, if we can only name a few. And for humanity's sake, love's the most precious in my view. We've got to love each other through till we reach the other side. We must love each other through. Now's not the time to run and hide. Let's lift each other up in prayer, 'cause there's always someone there. What we need to do is love each other through. If you ever feel like you're falling, don't be afraid to reach for my hand. I'll be there to lift you to safety. I will help you regain your stand. Yes, I am my brother's keeper. No matter what people may say, my sisters too. Humanity's sake, love's the most precious in my view. Yes, we've got to love each other through. All right, I want to see your hearts till we reach the other side. We must love each other through. Now's not the time to run and hide. Let's lift each other up in prayer, 'cause there's always some love there. What we need to do is love each other through. As we travel through this life, we realize we're not alone. As we share our good, open up our hearts, we'll find joy we've never known. We've got to love each other through. Come on, you guys, can you feel this with me?
Yeah.
Till we reach the other side. Come on, ladies. We must love each other through. Now's not the time to run and hide. Let's lift each other up in prayer, 'cause there's always some love there. What we need to do is love each other through. What we need to do is love each other through. All right, everybody. I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Thank you. Let's love. Thank you. God bless you, and I will see you again next week. God bless everybody.
Boom.
That was a fucking vibe.
Ask you for feedback. You're like, no, I don't want to give no feedback. It was great.
So,
and that's it. So then, next week we'll do the same thing.
We gonna skedaddle.
And I'll literally watch you set it up. And then I'm telling you, by the third week,
We gonna
like,
skedaddle.
Thank you guys.
Of course.
Easier than it seemed, right? And then, like, you see how cool it was that you could pull the comments up?
Oh, yes.
This is like the most exciting episode of the Whooshie Gang podcast to happen in like so long. And this all started originally for aliens. What the fuck? How the hell?
Well, that's the trick. I think if you...
No, I'm just saying, like, it's crazy how this episode started off with aliens, and it's gone all over.
It's aliens, but
I'm not saying it's aliens, but this episode's been all over the place, and I'm kind of living for it. Been live for 2.5 hours, and I'm living for this wild-ass episode. Like, this shit has been so fun. If you're not vibing with this episode so far,
For you to download.
you're a weirdo.
It's literally on there.
Bang, bang.
don't judge me.
It's okay.
Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
I'll look at you in any tone of judge I'll look at. Blech.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
I'm literally living for this episode.
Wow.
This episode is so funny.
This is going to be,
It's just been
it's
all
gonna be so
over the
different.
place.
This is like so different than anything
We've
else.
been outside.
But once
We've
you
been
get
to
that
that side of the communal space. We've been here.
It's a great means to get your
I've
music
had
out.
my stream hijacked. This is great. I can't wait for this episode to go on Spotify because anybody listening on Spotify is gonna be like, yeah, they're gonna be so fucking lost.
So normally wouldn't be like that for you, but
But again,
you don't mind people being
Yo,
here,
they honestly,
I think ambient noise is good.
They should have.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, should have been.
Is anybody still watching?
Oh no, there's nobody watching right now. I'm not even worried about it.
That's why
Like I said, going on Spotify, so like when you're listening on Spotify, they're gonna be like.
But then like I had stopped after one, I just had too much going on, and I didn't have a co-host anymore. You know, like the kid. You know the kid Tyson that was running for mayor at one point. The last one, the black guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Ended up
Oh yeah.
being a
We'll have somebody live watching it with
Long
us.
story short, so I got discouraged and was like, I don't want to do this.
Funny part is I can send her a link for her to join the stream.
You need to be my co-host.
Nah, we'll figure it out for sure because I'm interested. I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, because I could do some. I could.
Yeah, to watch it, I could literally pop her in as a guest.
I really love to build it.
I love how you just like lie. Because she's a friend.
I don't sound like Sorry, I tried to sound like that.
I'm sorry I didn't sound like that. I love you.
No. Just gotta put that.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I got you hit.
Fucking serves you right, kid.
1 second, I'll give you the cover.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh, it's my dongle.
Your dongle?
It's my dongle.
Yes.
To learn about how to advocacy.
Yes.
Did I tell you about that already?
Yes, we talked about it when we first had our
Fucking ways.
So,
Fucking Milky Ways. Oh yeah, this is an alien episode. Speaking of Milky Ways. We live in the Milky Way.
The more voices that are doing it,
yep.
you know.
What else lives in the Milky Way?
Correct.
Because part of the reason why I wanted to be, and I think I've said this to you before, is part of the reason why I came back to the method. It was a main time for over 10 years.
I'm having a fucking.
I'm
having a blast, dude.
This
is a fucking great
not just as a
episode,
singer, but I wanted to be visible.
Because you understand the story and context. It's important that we let people like that.
Oh, you I'm from
Yes.
and every time when I
still works. Oh hey, it's the police. Yo, what if I ran out on the cop right now, live on camera, and was just like, "Can I get a statement from you, sir?"
You saw how they did people.
We were the ones that pushed that.
Exactly.
I was one of those.
That'd be mad funny. I should like. What if I just ran up to the cop and was like, "Sir, may I get a statement from you?"
No, I totally get it.
What would you like to say to my podcast, sir?
No, this is our idea.
So I want.
Officer, what would you like to say to my podcast, sir?
We did e-draw, right? And I was in that building. Like I remember standing in the corner of that building.
Oh shit! Almost dropped my lighter again.
Corner of Maxfield and
This fucking Dungus.
Yes.
Fucking Dungus.
I stood at the corner
Fucking
and I looked
Dungus.
at where my house.
Fucking Dungus.
Wow. Oh, I live in the top. Yes.
Right. On
Yes.
Fifth Avenue. My house was in between Hill Street and Maxfield Street. on
Sorry.
Fifth Avenue. So I remember Maxfield Street. I remember Holy Duty. There was a restaurant, Holy Duty hamburger restaurant.
Wow.
I kind of want to talk about
that. That's amazing.
So this is my time.
All right, let me hop back in. I'm going back to UFOs.
Oh, go back to
Oh man.
Y'all got to see a lot of the cool stuff we got going on here. A whole bunch of diverse stuff going on in here. So
Shit. Yeah, I just brought it up to her. Funny enough, I'm like, people that are going to be listening to this after on Spotify are going to be like, "What the fuck
did I just happen?" If they're on shrooms, it's going to be a trip.
Yo, it's definitely the podcast you always wanted.
There you go.
Yo, it was literally like Libsey's happy hour. Like it was just the fucking wide mix of shit. Not only was there singing, my stream got hijacked at one point.
Yes.
By somebody else asking questions.
Yep. Yeah, Louis, right?
Yeah,
Louis wasn't playing.
I was outside at one point.
Yep.
It's been a whole fucking episode. This has been a blast.
Yeah, it's fire. It's changing the game.
So back to our original topic from 2 hours ago.
Yes, right.
So aliens, yeah. There's a lot of them.
They don't like us.
They don't.
I don't blame them.
They don't fucking like us.
Why would they like us?
So do you? I'm sure you knew about the UFO task force that they had set up.
Yes, the UFP task force. Yep.
Yep. For those 143 plus cases.
Yep.
So I've seen that a lot of people think that is being used as a cover up.
Mm-hmm.
To cover up the fact that there's an amendment going through Congress that would vastly expand upon the alien disclosure.
Yep.
In like what we actually know.
What's interesting is how many people don't realize that what we already have for information came through the stimulus bill.
Yeah.
So again, if that shit, the reason you should pay attention to what bills are getting passed or not getting passed, if there's not a better example, because what does the stimulus have to do with UFOs?
Exactly.
But again, that's what politicians do. They sneak all this other shit that, like the infrastructure bill, for example, the one that we're still fighting over. The reason that we haven't gotten it done is because there's a whole bunch of other shit that has nothing to do with infrastructure. And this is a common practice with them. So yes, it is believable that, some people believe that this is soft disclosure. I think if you're of the community that's already been interested, if you're the person that's been brain dead about any other thing, you don't look up at the night sky, nothing like that, then I can understand you not getting what's going on. But I think for the community of us that actually have been paying attention to a lot of this stuff, we're headed for a renaissance, in my opinion, on where we're headed with a lot of these topics and themes, because there's things that you just can't run away from. Like, again, leaving the open-ending question of what was that object on the David Fravor video? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
What the one that even threw me more of a loop is the one that they filmed on the Navy ship, where the ship was like hovering above ocean level and then was like, bloop, dropped into the water. Like, see you guys. Hi guys. See you later.
See you later.
There are other videos of that kind of shit happening too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And the key is when you're watching people like I forgot the guy's Jeremy something.
Corbin. Yeah. Because I was just watching shit about
the
that
filmmaker, and
actually he part of what he found is the reason why that bill is being pushed through Congress.
They Jeremy Corbyn, George Knapp, Stephen Greer, who's gone more on the fringier side of it. All citizens don't understand the power that you have with a Freedom of Information Act request. You can get anything. You know what I mean? You can really essentially get anything if you just are adamant about it. We just need to be thinking whether we got people OCD enough to stay on top of it. Because how the FOIA Act works is they'll ignore you, and then they'll ignore you, and then they'll ignore you, and then there's a legal limitation on how much they can ignore you. And they try to kind of push you to the midnight hour to see if you'll give up. Well, people who are deeply invested in UFOs, I mean, they've been doing this shit for 30 years. Don't think that they're going to stop for a FOIA request. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
And I think that mathematically people need to talk about statistically, you only need one of those situations, just one, to be true, right? And it changes everything. So when they're telling you that they have 168 instances,
you
might want to start, reconsidering what your base reality is.
Fucking so. Actually, funny enough that you had mentioned it way earlier. So it's in those documents that task force is actually going to be going through. There's actually instances of UFOs turning on and off nuclear weapons.
Correct.
That's fucking horrifying.
So the interesting part is there's a theory about why, if at all, aliens have been attracted to our nuclear stuff, right? First off, imagine being in a completely quiet space, right? And you're used to normal space noise, like a supernova or a neutron star or da-da-da-da. And now you're starting to get this background, because remember, the background, radioactive background is a footprint in our cosmos, right? Yeah. And now you're starting to get this thing it's almost the equivalent of how we're looking at stars and we're noticing a fluctuation in light. And we're saying, is that a megastructure or what is that? What's blocking the light? What's causing the light to twinkle? Well, Think of it in the inverse. You know, these assholes who were just 30 years ago fucking flinging, you know, putting their head in lions' mouths and shit for the fucking circus. Now we're blowing up nuclear power shit. So of course it's going to be like, I need to go see what these assholes are doing.
True.
I also think a part of it from the game preserve perspective. It's funny because there was a Predator. One of my favorite Predator was actually one with Adrian Brody.
Okay. That was a good one.
Because that's actually how I look at some of this UFO phenomena. It's game preserves, you know what I'm saying? And what do we do when we study animals? We try to not disturb their habitat, but we do have a habit of tagging and bagging them and then sending them back. Well, that's really the abduction stories overall. You know what I mean? Like they're tagging and bagging the fish and they're sending you back. There's too many cases of them finding chips in people, all kind of shit that can't. It's sending off RF signals, but they don't understand how. And again, why is that surprising? When you have reports of that UFOs that have been investigated, they don't have any rivets, there's smooth surfaces, there's no control forms. So it's believed that a large portion of that, which we've already been talking about for a long time, is ran off of brain waves. Now, that seems mad far-fetched to people, right? But then Elon's over here creating Neuralink, assholes.
Yep.
So again, account for something being 1,000 years ahead of you, 1,000,000 years ahead of you. Of course you can blink and fucking make a unicorn pop up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop thinking that we're the fucking like knees bees of the world, like of the universe. We're not. We're insignificant. We're in the grand scheme of it, it sucks, but we are. We are insignificant in the grand scheme, and at any point in time, unbeknownst to our control, imagine how much of humanity is about what people feel that they can control. Now, imagine I've learned a valuable lesson in not trying to do that, and just they say there's a formula for luck. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right? So I just stay prepared. That's it. I just stay prepared, and I try to stay balanced for when the opportunity presents itself. And I don't. The universe is going to do what the fuck it's going to do. You know what I mean? So like, I don't worry about the things that I cannot control. I deal with the things that I can. And the things that I can't, I kind of just chalk it up to the universal karma and nature of the way things are. It's like my friends. You know, I invest a lot of time in trying to get my friends to act like better human beings. But if they don't want to, I mean, that's their prerogative. I can't make them, just like nobody could make me come to this person that I've been. I love my wife. I give her a lot of credit for a lot of the things that happen with me in my transformation, because that's what a good husband does. But even she knows that, and everyone knows that it has half a brain, that I still had to make the choice to be a better man and a better person. You know what I'm saying? Before I decided to marry that woman or, you know, buy a home and all this other shit that's going on. But I will tell you this much, and I know, you know, some people like to try to tell me I'm the exception to the rule. And to some certain levels, they are right when I look at, you know, again, numerically having 9 male cousins and 7 of them are dead. There's only 2 of us left alive. So I get that, right? But I refuse to accept that, because accepting that means that I'm accepting that it's what I am is an anomaly, and it can't be a normality for other young people that look like me. And I refuse to accept that or embrace that notion, even though there are a lot of people of color who try to get me to think that way. Like, well, you know, you're the exception. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm from the projects. I came up in poverty. I came up, you know, with the man syndrome. So also what made me not even be in the space to have a conversation. There's a lot of ignorant shit in the black community. There's a lot of homophobia. There's a lot of bunch of shit that we're just not addressing, because we're always using it as a counterpart to our white counterparts or this, that, and the other. And it's like, bro, I don't want to have this conversation. Like, I can equally say I don't want the cops shooting up shit, and I can equally say I don't want you shooting up the fucking playground. Like, what are we talking about? So it just is what it is. I don't play into the media narratives, the bullshit. I just don't play into it. I will not give it my energy. If you are a person that will tell me a hurdle, like, you see that hurdle over there? There's a fucking hurdle, bro. Like, what are we going to do about that hurdle? I'm going to fucking sprint and jump it while your goofy ass is still standing there looking at it. I do not have the victim mentality. Even if we may have been victimized, but we do not have to be victims. We can be victors. And the only way we do that is that, I know in a time when we're talking about mental health and being softer and dealing with, yes, that is important. We need to nurture people and all, but we also need to have moments where we got to toughen the fuck up. And it is what it is, and we got to deal with it. We got to have grit to get through it, because our ancestors did no less. And I don't care what background of demographic you came from. We all came out of some crazy ass cave somewhere. One cave was cold, one cave was hot.
True.
But there was a whole bunch of people that had to endure far worse. Think about it. The day that Facebook went down, I saw people melting down, like when they got back on, like, oh my God, I didn't know what to do. I thought I lost connection with the world. Go outside, you assholes. Like, I can't do this anymore. You know what I mean? And again, it's getting to the point where, again, when I'm looking at this as an alien, I don't want to be bothered with you. You are entertainment. I'm going to pop popcorn. They're literally the Michael Jackson meme. They're popping popcorn and enjoy. I tell people all the time, I don't watch TV. People ask me about TV shows, like, you watch Ozark? I don't watch TV. People are funny enough. I tune into Facebook, click home, and fucking drink coffee all day.
Fair.
While I'm editing, handling business calls, whatever. TMZ? Who needs TMZ? You got people trashing their baby mamas and shit on Facebook. On Facebook. You got people going to Facebook like, who should I go to for a doctor? You're asking Facebook? Not your medical care provider? Get the fuck off the internet. We put too much stock into this internet thing. There's a real world going on here. So when people, now here's the genius to my madness, right? Again, thinking this shit from, people don't understand how much of what I've gotten done is thinking of looking at things from an alien lens. It's crazy. I look at New Bedford from an alien lens all the time.
This place is probably
and it gets me, that's why I can do what I'm doing here. Because again, if I was steeped in only, it's like people who tried to coin me into being a Black Lives Matter activist, and I do the air quotes because, no, I'm just a villager trying to help people. I don't even like, I'm a person who's a rebel and I don't like joining shit. And I don't like going with the flow because I especially can't be a part of things that can't be critiqued. I'm not doing that. That's a cult. And there's so many different things out here that are just cults.
Oh my God.
I am happy to be critiqued, and I am happy to critique.
I could go off on cults.
So imagine, again, you got all these people that believe in all this other shit. You know, they believe in burning tree talking to them, and da-da-da, which is cool. But how come that couldn't be E.T.? You know, you're talking about all these inventions with the pyramids and everything. The pyramids used to actually be a wetland, and then, like, how was that possible? But then you see over in the United Emirates, they're actually turning their deserts into an oasis because they learned how to process. It's crazy right now. So again, if you just look at what we've done in our little bit of time, and then think about somebody just 100 years ahead of us, we're ants.
Yeah,
and we just got to get over it.
And it's funny too because actually I was going to get into like ancient ETs and like all that shit. So I already had. Yeah, I'm going to get into that.
This might have to be multiple parts of a podcast.
Listen, we can do this anytime. I'm down for. I can do this all day. As you can tell, I'm well versed on the subject matter.
I would say it's only going on 10.
I'm a closeted physicist. When I was growing up, I loved everything that had to do with space, but clearly when I was dealing with the Negroes I was dealing with, nobody was giving a shit about the James Webb Telescope. They was like, who? Is he bringing some weed? I'm like, all right, I can't deal with you guys. Get away from me.
Fuck, that's literally like, that would have been my thought too. Like, who is that? like
who?
Is that your new weed guy?
But again, in this transformation, I've been embracing a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Like, and learning new things. Like, I literally sit at home and I've watched, example. Here's my challenge to people who do believe in UFOs and everything, right? I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. There's people that everything's a leap of faith out here that people believe in, right?
If you can believe in God without any pictures or proof, you can believe in aliens.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same shit, essentially. But here's my challenge to you. My challenge to you is to study physics a little bit because it'll help you really understand what you're looking at. You know, if you don't understand, free fall is 9.8 milliseconds squared, you know what I'm saying? Then what are we talking about? How do you know how an object moves or doesn't move in open space or in a vacuum or what have you? So, it sounds complicated. Let me tell you the secret to life. Finance, science, medicine, law, right? All of these things have just created a very complicated language for very simple concepts. The whole goal, I have to have a Webster dictionary. Wait, I got to have a law dictionary. Wait, I got to have a financial dictionary. That game is I have the medical dictionary. That game is to vocabulary you out from the conversation because they speak a language that they don't want other people to understand. You know, you have a aneurysm, a brain bleed. Is that what you're trying to say to me right now? Like, come on, let's get this shit. Let's keep it simple. They do that for themselves to feel academic. You know what I mean? But I know a lot of people that are consider themselves academics. You can't stop me from mugging you if I was my old self. So you ain't that smart. And I'm just, I'm a bubble popper. Like, I'm a bubble popper. I will pop your bubble real quick. There's mad people that come to me talk about revolution. I'm like, I will kick your ass right now. You won't revolt nothing. Like, what are we talking about? I'm a bubble popper. When you say you want to be a dope artist, but you're not leaving New Bedford, what are you talking about to me? I don't want to talk to you. I've traveled to over 30 different states. I've dealt with over 100 different artists, and y'all barely hear me talk about it until we have to do these things. And I'm trying to educate people on how I was able to turn my life around with music money. But I do admit that I came up in a heyday where CDs were able to be sold and all that good stuff. But again, I don't expect people to understand UFOs and they can't even understand they're getting jerked out of stream money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I hate to be, so when I was growing up, I learned a very valuable lesson from a mentor of mine, a gentleman named Rick Mashad. And a lot of people don't realize that when I was 18, I was the youngest senior manager for 5 colleges in Boston: Berklee College of Music, Boston Architectural Center, Cambridge College, the Boston Conservatory, and Newberry College, right? Youngest black public senior manager, right? And this gentleman, Rick Mashad, is like a Goodwill Hunting story. It's fucking crazy. This guy took me on this one, and he was always giving me like these little reading materials, whatever. And I'll never forget the quote to him that he said to me. And I was like, damn, I was young. And when you're young, you're more idealistic. So I was like, he's just an angry old guy. What the fuck's he talking about? And he's a white guy. So I was like, he's an angry old white guy. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's well off too. I was like, he's from Connecticut. He got land and shit. He don't know what he's talking about. Right? That's an ignorant way to look at things sometimes too. Because if you're gonna get jewels dropped on you in this system that's set up in order for you to excel, it's gonna come from somebody that was master in the system. So anyway, I've digressed. So he said to me, never underestimate the stupidity or greed of the next person. And that stuck with me my entire life. And it's kept me safe and whole this entire time. You got to prove to me that you're smart and you're not greedy. Because it's very easy to prove me that you're an idiot. I can just go to your Facebook profile. You know what I mean? But you got to prove to me that you're actually intelligent and can hold a high. I mean, again, think about, I could say we can have a conversation about weed, THC levels, da-da-da-da-da. I could talk to you about Kanye being up Kim's ass all day, but I could also hold a conversation about physics, space, time, entrepreneurship, artist development. Be a multifaceted person. You know what I'm saying? Because the more, I just said to someone earlier, what did I post? Let me tell you exactly what I posted. I posted a picture of me editing a grind mode cipher, right? And then I said on the picture, there's a billion ways to get it. Choosing one sounds like a limit. When you normally hear the inverse, there's a million, Jay-Z's famous line, there's a million ways to get it. Choose one. Choose one? Choose one? Yeah. The game is about streams of revenue. You feel what I'm saying? Choose one. So when people ask me what I do, don't talk to me. I'm the wrong person to talk to because I don't have a title. I do what is needed. I've been a director and a program manager for Third Eye, and I've also shoveled people's driveways in the snow. If I want that money, I'm going to go get it. And I'm not bougie about how I get it. I volunteer. I freaking will do a lemonade stand with the kids. I'll go sell some Girl Scout cookies. I'll da-da-da-da-da. Because one thing I'll tell you about well-off people, a lot of people critique well-off people without understanding their practices. A lot of people critique well-off people and have no idea what it's like to run and let these motherfuckers can't manage their social media and they think they can talk about running a business with 1,000 employees. They don't understand. And on all levels, the micro and the macro and the UFO, we're lacking empathy for a lot of each other's problems. A lot of people think rich people don't have problems. Then why are they blowing themselves away? Because they quickly find out money didn't solve everything.
True.
In a lot of cases, it made it worse.
That's too fucking true.
You understand what I'm saying? So we got to be careful about dismissing people and whether they have money, whether they came up. There's privileged kids I know that are literally ready to eat a bullet because their parents suck. So how great is that privilege doing them when that privilege is why they're miserable?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get a lot of these kids that no matter what color you are, if they came from well-off background, they end up doing all of this hood stuff because that's the low-frequency, easiest way to be accepted. Negative shit. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Positive's harder for a reason. You know what I mean? Okay, let's think about life and existence. We're enjoying this existence. We're enjoying being here and experiencing each other and all this other shit, right? But everybody likes to talk about the rosy side of it, not the billions of years. This shit was just molten, boiling fucking rock spinning around. There was a collision that happened and split off the moon, and then it fucking formulated and all this other stuff. And you understand what I'm saying? It's like, why are people forgetting that the mess is a part of the mess is a part of the masterpiece?
True.
You have to make a mess. If you're trying to be a neat artist, you're not innovating anything. You're not breaking outside the box. Too much of art today is I see, I do. I see. It's too much control C, control V. I can say this. In New Bedford, if you see a flyer, you can tell that I did it. You can tell when it's my flyer. Why is that? Because I wasn't sitting. How does Basquiat become fucking Basquiat by painting like Van Gogh all day? You can't do that. You have to paint like Basquiat.
True. Actually, hey, speaking of Basquiat, real quick,
he was another one who did drugs and believed in aliens.
I was gonna say real quick. Apparently, a bunch of quote unquote originals. Bye. Have a great night.
Bye, everybody.
Originals, yeah.
A bunch of like quote unquote originals from him were recently found, and like they were trying to sell them. And, they were being quoted, like people were putting their necks out saying like, no, these are real, these are legit. But the cardboard on the back that was dated 7 years after his death proves otherwise.
There's a lot of theories around Basquiat. There's a whole two-part theory behind Basquiat right now too. So
didn't know that actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of theories behind. I mean, him. There's a bunch of them, but who the fuck knows? You know what I'm saying? You can duplicate and play games with anything nowadays. You know, the idea that people think that it's easy to tell counterfeits nowadays, it's really it's very hard now. Because the process to duplicate things is very easy. I mean, come on, we're out here 3D printing guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
So again, when we have something as dope as a 3D printer, right? I've seen, bro, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with us as a species, bro. We get a 3D printer and somebody was like, I can print a gun. We get drones. Did you see the drone? We get drones. Somebody's like, I can put a gun on it. Like, what is wrong with us, bro? Like, what is wrong with us? Though. We're fucking psychos.
Like robotic dog. The robotic dog. What did we do? Put a gun on it.
Gun on him. You know what I mean?
Like, and then we immediately came out with instructions on how to dismantle it.
Exactly. We're fucking psychos. We are psychos. As if I was, again, remove yourself from this conversation. Be an alien and look at us. We're trash, bro.
Fuck us.
We are the Jersey Shore of the universe.
Oh, God, we are the Jersey Shore. Like, why the fuck are people starving to death? Anywhere on this planet. Why?
It's not profitable.
No, it's not even just that. It's not even just that, because again, if you remove all the rich people out of it, too many people are scapegoating. It's easy because they're easy targets. What do we do locally to feed each other? Not enough. We depend on, and then think about it. We get trained into being into. We talked about this earlier. How nonprofits are in some ineffective nonprofits are just another subsidy in the city that is making people complacent, really. Because if you keep giving people shit without incentivizing them, then what are you doing? You're not empowering them, you're enabling them. Whereas like here, it's like, no, I'm not going to pay you for the negative shit. You can come here and rap all day your negative shit for free $99. Don't give a fuck. But the moment you make me a good song about your mom and your village, we got some money for you. But again, these are very basic concepts. If people, I say this, if after doing this work for 10 years, if people wanted to fix the problems, they would have fixed them. But there's a lot of organizations that exist by the problem itself existing. So they're not going to fix the problem because then they're out of a job. I want to do this work so well that I don't have to do this work. And there's not a lot of people that do the work that I do that will say that to you. Because they literally, their whole identity is, but there's a whole bunch of woke ass people out here and their whole identity is behind just being woke with no results. The fuck are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? I am not a librarian. I'm building a fucking library. I'm not an art curator. I don't have an art degree. There's a fucking gallery back here. I never went to school for music. We provide music here. I never went to school for sound engineering, none of that shit. I run a 32 channel fucking X32 board over here. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about? I don't take limitations. Like I was saying earlier, I was touching on that before we broke up from the break. Richard Feynman, again, when I was talking about studying some physics, I will go online and watch a video about, oh, Kanye retweeted Kim, 10 million fucking views. Richard Feynman giving a free lecture. Richard Feynman is like one of the forefathers of physics in modern day physics, string theory and all of that. Will give you an hour free from the Stanford University. Is available on YouTube to give you all this knowledge. I mean, there's concepts there that literally will give you a headache, and embrace the headache because that's your mind expanding. You know, when you work out, you feel a little pain and you get the gain. Well, your brain's the same way. So when people are so not used to that feeling that they run from it. They're like, yo, I can't even, that was too much for me. No, it was just the right amount because now you're expanding. Don't run from it. Don't run from it. The unknown is so fire. Don't run from it. So anyway, I digress. So I'll see 10 million views on fucking Kanye's up Kim's butt or Pete Davidson's knocking her down, whatever, right? I'm so tired of it, seeing it in my newsfeed. No one's talking about anything physics. Too much of the human species is focused on other people's business, and that's why so few of us are actually living our dreams. Because the ones that are living their dreams are focused on their fucking business, not everybody else's. Listen, I love everybody. I'm around everybody. Outside of us being around each other, I'm not in any motherfucker's drama like, oh, he just subbed his girl online, son. I'll be the first one to hit you up and be like, get the fuck off the internet. What the fuck's wrong?
True.
Why are you subbing people online? Like, your girl's in the other room. Go talk to her. Shut the fuck up.
You are that type of person.
I am, right?
I can see you doing that. Like, that's very true. Like, I can see you doing that.
Because I'm not here to feed the bullshit. We're too soap opera oriented, as especially in America. And the rest of the country's following because, again, they're playing the same algorithmic games in all these countries, too. So, again, we're very close to, like, idiocracy in real life. And I would even, again, after the Tide Pod Challenge, I said, oh, we're there. If you haven't seen the movie Idiocracy, please go watch it. It's no longer a movie. It's a documentary.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
It's literally what we're living in right now.
Well, speaking of, older things, obviously Idiocracy is not that old.
Yes.
But Prince Philip, actually, had a deep fascination of UFOs and was monitoring them for 70 years until he passed away in 2021, actually. Do you know why he was monitoring them?
Him and Harry Reid, Senator Harry Reid, who recently passed away, which was one of the leading senators in our U.S. I was actually worried about, it's weird because every time disclosure happens, there's a leader in this shit that ends up passing away somehow, but it could just be my mind, you know what I'm saying? They're old, Harry Reid wasn't young. But anyway. Yeah, it could be. You know what I mean? Who fuck knows?
Actually, I heard it was within the family.
What, Harry Reid?
No.
Oh, the Phillips thing? So there's a whole thing about like how different bloodlines, all the U.S. presidents roll back to kings and queens and all that crap. And like there's actually like a real legitimate thing out there to look into about that. But I've digressed. I only knew about Phillips because of some of the work that him and Harry Reid was doing together because basically the UK and the US were trying to figure out how to talk about this shit.
Yeah.
But there was he was our Harry Reid over there, and he was the only one that was really interested in the topic.
Well,
so to lose him and Harry Reid is a tough hit for the community.
Well, what ended up happening was apparently it was Prince Philip's uncle that had introduced him to the concept of like, hey, there might be extraterrestrials. So what ended up happening was, I guess there was this I don't remember if it was a kid or like a young teen, teenager type deal, but they were basically riding their bike by a farm, and this is old England and shit. So riding the bike by the farm, and all of a sudden he sees this craft in the air, and he's like, he stops the bike, and he's like, the fuck? Beam comes down from the craft, and he sees like a figure coming down, and as the figure's coming down, I guess like he remembers like being pushed back and like falling off the bike and just being kind of pinned down to the floor, and like it disturbed him so much that he felt compelled to tell the owner of the farm like, hey, like this just happened on your property, like I don't know what the fuck happened. And the owner of the property was Prince Philip's uncle. His uncle was the ambassador to India at the time. So like he was credible.
Got you.
So for this person that apparently was also credible within that community to come to him and be like, hey, this literally just happened on your farm.
Yep.
I'm fucking shaking.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
I'm freaking out. They have reports from local police, like Scotland Yard. Like, I think of the Scotland Yard. Either way, the local law enforcement, like, they have like legitimate statements from everybody involved, including his uncle.
Yep.
You know, that's telling that story to Prince Philip was actually what got Prince Philip into actually being like, hey, maybe this is something to actually.
Harry Reid had a similar situation. Where he had another person in government that was a little older than him and told him about an experience that he had. And that's what really got him involved. And then again, you know, really, if boomed, World War II,
yep,
the Foo Fighters was really what made things precarious because you never had at one time that many planes in the sky. And then when both sides were trying to be quiet, because both sides thought the Foo Fighters, the Orbs, were the opposite side's technology. But then at some point, they both realized this ain't their shit and this ain't our shit. Who shit is this?
Well, see, you know what's funny, too? I actually had heard something that, you're right, World War II was really, like, the point where...
The nuke.
Exactly. Once we dropped the nukes, it was like as if the aliens were like, oh, shit, the kids found the matches. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
World Star.
Yeah.
It was like, World Star! And they fucking pulled up. You know what I mean? And
shit.
literally...
Oh, shit, the bums found the cheeseburgers.
Bro,
like...
Think about it. They're like, yo, these motherfuckers are in, like, boxes of metal right now shooting these projectiles at each other in the sky. Like, these guys are savages. They don't give a fuck about nothing, yo. Let's watch this. Like, that's how I would look at it.
That's literally
Think about what a dog fight is in the air.
Probably looks wild.
It's the dumbest shit. Like, who the fuck signs up for this?
Who the fuck thought it was okay to shoot each other in airplanes?
That's what I'm saying. Again, we made a plane, put a gun on it. That's America, dog. That's what we do.
Hey, and then we decide to make movies about it happening in space. So now there's space dogfights.
Correct.
And it's even fucking stupid.
Correct. What do you think the Space Force is about? And then wonder why after the task force was announced for the new UAP shit, you haven't really heard shit about the Space Force. No, we haven't heard nothing since Trump announced it, which was kind of ironic that, I think if we had one, now, again, I'm not a fucking fan of this guy, so don't take this the wrong way. But if there's one person that could have spilled the tea, it was him. And he did in a way, to be honest with you.
Did you ever see the photo? It was when Trump and Obama first met, like when Trump first got elected.
Yes.
And they were like having a conversation, and it's like a sequence of photos, and it's Obama like whispering something into Trump's ear, and then you just see Trump's face just go,
nigga, what?
Like, yo. And it's like at this moment, Obama told Trump about the aliens.
Yep.
Like,
yes.
yo.
Yes. Yeah. But Trump fucked up. If you watched a few of those press conferences where they asked him about the debriefing, I don't even Obama came on TV. Look this up. Obama came, they interviewed him after the report came out too. Because it seemed like whatever they was trying to do was I hate that the report came out during the pandemic and the Trump shit. The same way I hate that George Floyd happened during the pandemic and the Trump shit too, because now the narrative got pulled away from what needs to be fixed. And it became all this stupid shit for people to argue about, right? Because again, essentially, motherfuckers still getting shot by the cops.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It's like, it didn't stop. They just killed another dude from that same state, same area. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, you have Trump, they questioned Trump about it. Trump gave like the craziest, most revealing answer. Like if you really go look into it, it was crazy. It wasn't like I can't confirm nor deny. He was like, they're saying it's real. So that was like enough, right? It should have been enough. Like you had the news tell you, you had the president being interviewed. He said it. Then Obama, they did an interview. You can look this up. I'm telling you, like I can't make this shit up. If they're trying to fool me, they fucking got me, bro. Go look it up. Obama interview confirming that there are unidentified flying objects and confirming the reports, right? Okay, fine. Then when the movie Don't Look Up came out, it hit me. We're fucking goldfish.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I already knew that we were fucking like dodos. But again, we are so sucked into here, we're not even living out here. We're doubling down on living in here. We're talking about joining the fucking metaverse.
Yup.
Because you suck in real life. Like, that shit's crazy.
Because you suck in real life.
This shit's crazy. Think about what people are ready to do.
Seriously.
Motherfuckers done watch The Matrix, everything, da-da-da-da-da, and they're like, sign me up.
Plug me in.
Jack me the fuck in, bro.
Is it what? What's the Wi-Fi password? Let me in.
Now, here's what's creepy. This is the ultimate one. Okay. If you look at anthropology, right? We were fucking bumbering idiots for millennia. And then in the span of a very short window, brain size grew, function, all this other shit grew.
Like
around the same time the Sumerian texts were formed.
Yup.
Around the same time that it talks about the genetic engineering that got us to be what we are, right? Because basically it took Neanderthal and the hominid and then incorporated their DNA, and now you have modern human, right?
And then here's the thing: we're still looking for the missing link.
All the time.
We don't know
isn't.
what the fucking link is.
The missing link is fucking ET.
Exactly.
So then you get this DNA sprinkled in, and then over a span of 10,000 years, look where we are, right? Then after Roswell, after the nuclear bomb, after some of our inventions, see, there's some product of this that was natural, but then there's some product of this that seems mighty convenient. And then I started thinking about, holy shit, this right here, this is winning elections, is deciding how people are going to go outside or not, wear a fucking mask or not, all this other shit. It's in that those real life consequences are happening in this realm, right? And then I want to make the movie. I shouldn't even give my movie plot away. But they gave us this. So we can jack into the Matrix. And then we're fucking done. It's game over. I either feel like we are headed in a great direction or headed in the Matrix for real.
So I want to take on what you just said and just expand on it just a slight tiny bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're probably just going to wrap this up because I have other topics, but we can always do a part 2.
Bro, I'm always down to come anytime. You know that.
So I just want to expand on that. Now, I heard this really, really great theory about the Matrix. The planet's dying. The planet is fucking trashed. What if we are being plugged into the Matrix to give the aliens / robots a chance to fix the planet and we don't fuck it up? You know what I mean? Like, get us away from get us plugged into something where, just like the Matrix. You know what I mean? How they were plugged into tubes and they were plugged into something to keep them alive the whole time. Do something like, Nate, what if we're reaching towards something like that to give the planet enough chance to regrow and fix itself?
The reason I think so, I love that theory. Great theory. But it's still rooted in the perspective of what our limitations are or aren't to control things. We're still talking about a species that traversed time and space and probably is communicating with its technology via brainwaves. If it really wanted us to chill out for a second, it could do that. In my opinion, I would think so, right? I would assume so. Just looking at the technological curve. Now, there is some validity to what you're talking about because look what happened to the Earth just when we had that lockdown.
Uh-huh.
The planet was healing itself. Okay, now here's where we got to be careful. If I come to a planet, remove yourself. You're an alien. Try the best you can. Remove yourself. You come to this beautiful blue marble. Like, holy shit, this is like this liquid water. This shit is fucking amazing. Like, look at this shit, yo. And then you just see this thing that's on the surface layer that's fucking tearing down all the beautiful trees. I always think about that moment in the Matrix where they talk about we're a fucking virus. We literally move. We're talking about COVID? COVID? No. Humans are parasitic. Okay, you want me to really fuck you up?
Agreed.
You ready to get really fucked up? Okay.
My man is speaking knowledge here.
There is a concept called fractals. All right, this is what fractals are, right? As above, so below. You heard these concepts before, right? So fractals are a concept of, you ever notice when you zoom into things, the patterns repeat themselves the closer you zoom in? This is true for human DNA, true for a bunch, everything.
Human ashes.
Pretty much everything. Again, that was going back to that underground talk we were having earlier about what is that who and what made the software that the back. Oh, you know how when you have programs on your computer, but there's shit running in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Our subconscious. Think about. Let me just fuck y'all up. It's very simple shit to think about. People worry about what they can or can't control. You go to sleep every single fucking night and have the faith that your subconscious mind is regulating your body so you wake up tomorrow. Just think about that. Think about how much you don't have to think about the fact that you're breathing. I've had people sit here when I really make them think about what the process is to breathe. These motherfuckers start like, I don't know if I can breathe now. Like, damn, this shit's crazy. You made me think about this shit. Like, what is going on? Think about the gazillion things that are happening in your body right now as we're having this conversation that have absolutely nothing to do with your consciousness. But it's in the background process running.
Exactly.
Now, you look at the night sky, you look at human DNA, you look at the brain, you look at the synapses. What do you see? Fractals. They look almost the same. If you look at a graph of the brain and then you put it up with the graph of space, it's amazing how close it is and how similar it is.
Almost matches,
Okay,
yeah.
wait. Gets even crazier. We keep thinking as ourselves as this.
We're so much more. So much fucking more.
No, here's the creepy part. This.
Oh, we're only up here.
It's even worse than that, bro. It gets fucking freaky. Y'all shouldn't have had me on this goddamn podcast. Fuck y'all mind up there. All right, y'all ready? You're ready. This is just a vehicle, right? We understand this. But then when you say that, go deeper into it. Because sometimes we get cool with just the base level of like, we're familiar with the saying, so it must be right. But what does the saying actually mean, right? So again, strip your eyes, strip everything away. The most important part to making all of this shit possible is that brain and the nervous system that runs from it. So I challenge you to look up just the brain and the nervous system, coming down the spines and all the roots, right? Then look at the root of a tree, look at mushrooms, look at the fauna of the earth, look at all these things. If you strip the fingers and on the bone density and all this other shit away, it looks like a parasite, bro. We are fucking parasitic in nature. Now, we can control this and we can change this because we've shown that we have some of us that are willing to change the world, right? But because we created this apparatus of money, which again, if I was ET, I'd be like, look at these idiots. Look at these bozos. They're charging each other for their own air, son. This shit, they have oxygen bars, people. How stupid are we? You buy oxygen. Motherfuckers is out here getting rich selling foot picks.
Yo.
I don't fuck with humanity. Y'all are crazy as shit. Y'all assholes made a market for motherfuckers taking pictures of their big toe.
Hey, yo, I ain't even cap, though.
Honestly,
You make guap. You make guap for the pictures.
You
though.
do make mad money. But it's still weird. Like, what is wrong with us?
It's because in your brain, the foot part is right next to the sex part.
Oh my God. You just taught me something.
The foot part's connected to the
Sex parts.
Yeah, so people just kind of get a little confused.
So, again, I know there was a lot of large concepts there, but you have to think about it. Like, we got some of the top physicists in the game right now. Really, the conversation has changed. I always was looking at Neil deGrasse Tyson. I was like, damn, bro, why are you so negative on like, because again, these are people that are in academia and they get so astute in what they know that they feel like they know it all, right? Like I've never seen anything myself. I also didn't see Jesus. I also didn't see no burning bush. I also didn't see Muhammad. I also didn't see none of them motherfuckers either. You know what I'm saying? But a large portion, even love is a leap of faith. You understand what I'm saying? And having faith, a leap of faith is what you need to excel the species. A leap of faith is what you need to walk on the moon, to traverse the universe. I tell my wife all the time, if they told me right now that you and my girls would be taken care of and I had to go on that one-way trip to be the first person to step foot on Mars, I would so fucking do it. And people like, no, you wouldn't. No, you don't know me well enough. You think you know me. See, again, people assume they know me from Facebook. Now, imagine this conversation and imagine how much people realize they don't know about me.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Nobody would have known that I knew this much about this subject matter or physics and all this other shit. Because again, you guys are getting comfortable with being okay with typecasting yourself and putting yourself with limitations. I'm not. I could talk to you about slavery. I could talk to you about the nuance of relationships and diversity. I could talk to you about, whether you're in any form of the alphabet community or any of that, you know what I'm saying? LGBTQIA2+, it's gotten very difficult. I love y'all. I'm an ally. That shit is confusing. Y'all gotta get the branding
Can we
down.
just cut you guys?
But anyway,
I don't want to sound like a dick, but can we just cut it back down to LGBT?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't be trying to
I'm sorry, there's just too many fucking acronyms. It's so hard to keep up.
You know what's interesting? And
I'm not trying to be a
the
dick.
thing that's tricky with that, right? And I don't want to speak on behalf of anybody, I support, you know what I'm saying? The thing that's tricky is realizing just like in black folks, it's not a monolith. In the gay community, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So there's some of them that are old school and they're like, yeah, just LGBTQ me. You know what I mean? I mean, some of them are just like, I'm just this. But then they haven't adjusted to the new age with the 50,000 different things. And I'm going to respect whatever you want to do. Because I keep telling people about that too. Like mathematically, how many people are you going to run into? Shut the fuck up and just deal with people. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, yo, I'm the type of person, I swear, I mean this. I saw this thing in Seattle. And at first I was like, what? People out in Seattle doing what? There's a whole community of people that literally put mermaid fins on and go swim around the bay out there. If I'm making this shit up, somebody fuck me up, all right?
Do what you want.
And that's what
live your truth.
Sounds fun though.
That's what I'm saying. At first I was like, you're a psycho. But then I started to think about it, I was like, who am I to determine, like, fuck it, go swim. You know?
Do it. And
Do what the fuck you want to do.
That's what I'm
Why
saying.
does it
Like,
bother
live
me?
your truth,
Like, and then, people always try to use something it's insecurity in people's own lives. You know what I'm saying? When I was homophobic, it was because people was teaching me their insecurities. You know what I'm saying? And then I just broke all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to let you, I go up to the mountains, right? This is fucking crazy. Like, people, like, I'm telling you, fuck y'all.
I see
UFOs, I wouldn't fuck with y'all. But I go up there, right? And my friends in my old pool be like, oh, you doing white people stuff. Motherfucker, there are mountains in Africa. What the fuck is wrong with you? You need to go get a map, you goofy ass. God damn. You know what I'm saying? If I started jogging, they'd be like, yo, you jogging doing white people shit. Who the fuck is winning all the marathons, you jackass? It's a Kenyan or an Ethiopian. Are you not paying attention? Get the hell out your hood, bro. Damn. I love y'all. God damn. Ignorant. Fuck. Like, what is white people shit? They're like, yo, you parachuting? A black man made the parachute, you jackass. What's wrong with you? Grow up. Go experience some shit. Black people shit is not just going to the cookout, bro.
You ever thought of doing stand-up?
Listen, man.
You would fucking kill it.
I know.
Oh, my God.
Yo, the problem is it all... Nah. You know why? Because, like, mad people have asked me, and I'm like, nah. Because I don't know how to deal with the person that's going to be too offended, man. People are too sensitive now. That's why I stopped doing my podcast. Because I'm like, people are just too sensitive for me right now. And I'm having fun, you know what I'm saying? We're here having a free, candid conversation, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm a multifaceted person, and I stay away from vanity's a drug for me. So I try to do my best to, if I am in any light, it has to be in what I'm doing with the community stuff right now. It took me probably 15 minutes or so, if you really watch that face-off back that I did with my homies, to adjust back into that bag. You know what I mean? It was like, I wonder who's going to be watching this show, this community show. Hope the fuck these kids are watching it right now. God damn it. But I have to let them see duality. You know what I mean? I have to let them know it's okay. We're not perfect. So, but yeah, I would love to do some, I've thought about it because I got a lot of shit that I have people fucking cracking up. I mean, I do it every night when we're here, right? Like every time we do an event, I have these people in here dying. I always talk about busting a guilt-free nut because I got fixed. So, you know what I mean? It's an amazing thing. If you don't know what that's like, bro, sis, You don't know. Because after your 20s and all of that crap, all you worry about is knocking somebody the fuck up. Like, please, I don't know what I'm doing. But now I'm married and I'm snipped. It's guilt-free nuts forever.
And on that note, this has been. We're gonna have the part 2 of this episode.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We could talk about aliens for the whole week.
No, absolutely. Bring me back whenever you want. I'm down to do it. I love this topic.
Yeah.
So this has been one fucking hell of an episode. We've been outside physically. We've been to another podcast. I had another host take over my podcast. I hope y'all had a great time. You know where to find us. If you're listening to this on Spotify, where the fuck were you today? You're an idiot. You should have came here. It's been a vibe. I love your stupid faces. Have a great night, guys.